Hello, everybody. It's Big Daddy. I wish you guys could hear what's going on in my headset. And I'm watching the back office, and Kathy Long is in the back office, but her camera's crooked. So we got to fix that, Restita. And Restita, your camera's looking great, so I'm going to probably bring you live first. I'll be back right after I put some graphics up because this show is important to Big Daddy. Also, it's my birthday, and you people, you rock stars sending me birthday wishes already. You're making me cry. This show's going to rock. I've been waiting for this show. My girls are back, the champs. And like I said, I'll be back right after I put the show's graphics up, and I'll introduce you to our rock star guests tonight on Real Talk with Big Daddy. Hang tough. The hell? What the hell's going on here? The software's, Zuckerberg, don't screw up this show tonight. This is Real Talk with Big Daddy. And what is, Restita, are you there in the back office? You ready to rock? All right, let me turn this off. Okay, Restita's there. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the Big Daddy Roadshow, Real Talk stage right now are two of Big Daddy's friends. And on my birthday, they're doing this. I owe these guys big time. Let me turn my music off, and let's bring our first guest. Here she comes because she's ready, but Kathy is not. So we're going to pick on Kathy. Hi, Restita. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, BD?
Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'm crippled today, but I made it.
No.
You know why I made it? Because I acted like a warrior, like you and Kathy.
There you go. You go. Yay.
I mean, it's yay. Okay, so real quick, Kathy, you're in the back office, but we're not seeing you. So you might have to disconnect from the, there she goes. She's gone. So that's okay. Rusty, we're professionals. We can pull this off, right?
Right.
All right.
I'm texting her. Try it again.
Oh, you're working on texting her? All right. Well, folks,
Yeah.
if you're just joining us for the first time, this is Real Talk, and this is just a chat session. But this chat, I can't even speak, for Christ's sake. This chat session is special to me because it really is. It's really hard. All right, I think Kathy. Oh my goodness! All right, Kathy, are you ready? Are you ready? I don't know if she's ready. Hold on one second. Let me get my agenda up on the screen. I gotta tell some people who we're talking to here. It's kind of important. Now my agenda comes up. You know how this software works, right?
Yeah, I love that agenda thing.
Yeah, well, guess what? I think it's if it lost all of my agenda stuff, that's gonna be sad. I had it all packed in with all kinds of gold stuff. And wait a second,
right?
Is this even possible? Did I? All right, really quick. Share this epic show, folks. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Kathy. She's here and gone. All right, I'm just going to pretend that you're on my show until Kathy gets her cameras right. Ladies and gentlemen, Restita is here, and she is a martial arts expert and champion and rock star and friend of Big Daddy's. Welcome to Real Talk. All right. Hey, don't start that. You guys were sending me birthday stuff already. Which, I know what we could do to entertain while we're waiting for Kathy. Kathy's probably losing her mind right now. Check this out. My artist the artist in Australia who I love, Elza. Check this out. I hope you can see this because I know sometimes when you visit the show, you can't see the graphics, but She sent me this. She knows what Big Daddy loves.
Oh, wow.
Can you see that? Can you see that?
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
That's awesome.
Now, oh my God, the software's screwing up, but that's okay. We're going to talk about
Is everybody like this? Yeah.
We're going to talk about all kinds of cool things tonight, and you girls are going to talk about the ups and downs of being champions. And I don't know what the software did, but it put a picture of you up when you were a kid, like in 80s clothes. Did you see that?
Yeah.
But I actually was. That's kind of weird that the software did that by mistake, but it's a good place to start while we're waiting for Kathy. But yeah, how about that graphic from Elza? Elza in Australia, my artist,
cool.
also Omi Valdez. Thank you, my daughter 5K. I'll get rid of that picture of you in those. I don't know what my software's doing. It's putting pictures up of you, but I didn't put them up. It's putting them up by themselves. This show's out of control. It's taking over. Okay.
Mine did that too one time for a show. Everything, when I was on B Live, everything went bloop, 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 bloop. And I was like, okay, well, that's you know what?
Well, listen, hashtag listen. Kathy's probably losing her mind right now, freaking out. So, but it's okay, Kathy. If you can hear us, just chill. Just take your time. We got nothing but time tonight. I'll talk to Rusty about what happened to me today.
Okay.
I woke up. I went to walk to pee. Just a typical morning for a 50, soon to be 50, or no, I guess I am 51 years old now. 51-year-old man.
Yay.
And my left leg didn't work, because my back's been bad all week. Like I just went down. I went down hard. And it's ironic because this show we're going to talk about the ups and downs of being a champion. We're going to talk about like what you two have experienced since the beginning of your career. And we were going to talk about sports injuries and working through them. So if ever somebody needed help with working through an injury, it's Big Daddy, because I'm hurting, baby. I'm hurting. And I think Kathy's coming into the back office. So, but yeah, I think she's here. I think she's trying to fix her camera, get herself upright, and I'll introduce our next, and she's gone. She's gone. She's back. This is so funny. We're going to have fun on this show. I can't put the graphics up, Kathy, unless I know I can bring you live. But anyway, isn't it weird? Like I literally fell, and then I spent 2 hours on the floor, and there was nobody here. So my kids, where the hell was my kid? What is today? I don't even know what day it is. It's all blurry.
You need one of those things, I've fallen.
Exactly. I've fallen, and I'm 51. I'm putting out the pasture. It was frightening because I was like, anyway, I was literally going to do the show live from the floor today, but I haven't taken my back medication because I've been doing good with exercising and going to the gym, working out. And then all of a sudden I did all these jobs. I did all these gigs promoting the Big Daddy Road shows. And then I went to the racetrack, and I think it was the truck when he took me on the racetrack, I think. But I don't know. But anyway, Kathy's trying to get her camera straight. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. Kathy Long, 5-time world kickboxing champion, joins my other girlfriend, who's also a champion, as soon as she gets her gear right. And she is panicking, Rusty. It's awesome. I'm watching her in the back office, and she's completely losing it.
She's all like...
Yeah, she's all... I don't know why, but her camera's crooked every time she's all discombobulated. Turn your camera, Kathy, and we're bringing you live.
You mean she's like this way instead of this way?
Yeah, she's like, exactly. I'll show you. Can I bring you live here, Kathy? This is what this show is, though, folks. It's just a simple chat. It's just friends talking. This is real talk with Big Daddy. Right. And we're having technical difficulties, but I think she's got it right now. Kathy, and she's gone. You know what she's doing, Rusty? You have to send her a message. She goes to turn the camera right, and then she must be hitting the disconnect button. She keeps leaving the software. So she has to connect with her phone. Let's see. She's coming back. It has
to be this way?
Right. Yeah,
this
she
way
is.
Or this way?
This is the best. Listen to me. This is the best birthday I've ever had in my life. This is the best birthday of my. It's just so funny that she's having. Is she doing this on purpose just to make the show more fun? She's screaming now. I can see her screaming. I'm going to bring her live. Listen to it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. These two. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Does her phone have to be like this? Or like
no, her
this?
Phone's fine now. Just Kathy Long. Don't touch anything. Don't touch it. She's got
nothing.
it right. Don't touch nothing. Here she comes. 5-time world kickboxing champion, joins the Big Daddy Real Talk Show. Kathy Long, hi. Please stay there.
How's it going?
Stay there.
How come I can't see Rusty? How come I can't see Rusty?
Well, I mean, did you just not take 20 minutes of my show's time? We're having technical difficulty. You know what she looks like. Imagine her in your head.
How come I can't see her?
Oh, don't you have a picture of her? You could just lay it by the phone. I don't know. All I can tell you is you are live right now on the Big Daddy Road Show. And Kathy,
hi, Kat.
I had a real bad day. I fell and I hurt my back. And I laid on the floor for like 2 hours. And then I said, I'm going to have to cancel the show. Long? Listen to me. It was horrible.
Shit.
Yeah, shit. Beyond shit. It was brutal. And the pain level was at 11, not 10, not friggin' 10. I was crying like a bitch. I mean, this is the worst back pain I've ever experienced in all my years of back disability. And I'm like, what are the odds that I'm going to do a show with world champions who have been preaching to me about working through the pain? I was working through the pain on the floor like a madman earlier today. And I said to myself, and Kathy's going to enjoy this. I said, now listen, Big Daddy, AKA Tom. Big Daddy's a character. I said, Tom, get your ass and just will this pain to go away. It's not going to happen. Don't laugh at me, Kathy. I was doing it on the floor. I had 2 hours to be by myself.
I'm not laughing.
I had a spiritual, I shit you not, I had a spiritual experience, which included being knocked out. Like I literally, this is so weird. I'm talking to champions who knock people out professionally. I got knocked out from pain. Did you ever hear of that? Where I was in so much pain. My poor daughter, 14 years old, didn't know what to do for me. She had to try and lift my leg to get it on the bed. And that's how bad I was. And then I couldn't find because I haven't been taking the back medication because I've been doing good with my back. But I think I rocked it too hard with all the events I went to. And that truck on the racetrack, I think, did me in. So
the one that you were riding in? Well, that wasn't a truck, was it? Did you see?
It was a truck. Did you see me live on the racetrack with Alexa? Yeah.
You guys are all like, fun. She's all hanging on to you. Like,
listen, if you didn't watch it at the end, when the race car drivers knew that they were on the show, they were actually trying to take us out. And I was like, those guys, give me a race car, I'm going to knock them out. Anyway, Kathy, are you all okay? Kathy's losing it. She's still looking around. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. But isn't it weird and ironic? You've been coaching me to get healthier and get more fit. And you're telling me, like, you can get through pain and just work it out. Your shoulder will be okay. And I'm down for the count. And if I was a horse on a racetrack years ago, they would have just shot me right in the head. I mean, that's how bad I was. So,
sorry.
All right, let's get right to the story. Let's just jump right in here. You guys have been competing how long? Like, Rusty, you're a champion. Can you tell the audience what you're a champion, like where your championships what they're involved with?
Well, I competed in technically 3 art categories, I guess. When I was doing karate, I competed in karate, but that was like local and regional stuff. It was when I got into Kajukenbo where I started going like bigger regions like Washington, Oregon, Montana, California, that kind of thing. But when I had gotten into wushu, now for those of you out there that have no idea what wushu is and it sounds like Chinese food, wushu. I mean, there was people call it.
Okay.
Is it wushu pork? Wushu pork. But anyway.
Hey, nice. Hey, you can do that on the show. It's great.
When I got into wushu, that's when I got wushu and tai chi. That's when I got really serious about going into world competition. I started with national competition in wushu and became a 3-time national champion in a division of wushu called Nanchuan, which means southern boxing. And my minor subject was spear and long fist. And then one day I just got this wild hair up my ass and I said, I want to go worlds. And my teacher said, okay, well, you got to trust me. And there we go. And I did world championships in wushu for a bit, and Tai Chi championships, world championships, and it was a good run until I had to retire due to taking a fall and injuring my back.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
see,
a
so you know
story for
back
later.
pain. Right. So
Yeah,
basically, I'm not the
later.
only one, but I'm not the only one, though. Then you did finally get to a point that you couldn't work through something, you know. This is the perfect segue. The reason why we became friends, you were starting your show. Can you tell the audience your radio show? Dynamic?
Yeah. My
Dojo?
Dynamic Dojo Talk Radio. This was back in 2012.
Okay, you're okay. Wow, you're doing it way longer. I met you about 2 years ago. I thought we started that stuff together. Apparently, you're way ahead of me. But, interesting. Kathy, are you okay, hon?
Yeah, call me Kat, okay?
You got it, Kat.
Please, thank you.
Okay, good, Kat. I'm going to take a note.
Kind of outgrown that. I've just kind of outgrown that name, Kathy.
I think they're both beautiful. They're both beautiful. All right, so it's a perfect segue. The reason why I fell in love with you two is because you like to play with knives. You also like to play with knives and whips and stuff. But then when I started to learn more about you two and how much you're dedicated to everything, and then I started to become a fan of Dynamic Dojo Radio, even though I'm not like into martial arts. Like I don't do it. Like I don't. Well, no, it's not true. I do it. The other day you were doing that big dance. It's a special once a year. Rusty, what was it from the
Tai Chi, World Tai Chi Day. Come on.
Yeah, and I was in my chair, and I was in my chair doing it. Oh, I was dancing. Hey, if I want to dance, let me dance. But I was doing it. I was doing it, and I couldn't believe I'm watching you do your show live, and I'm like, I was actually going, why don't I live there? Anyway, I keep saying that to you, but. Kathy, where did your career start? And before you got your 5 belts, like how old were you? I want to know why you got involved in it. And I want to know just a little bit about how you got to where you got to the level you're at. And then we could start talking the 2 points, working through injuries. Because Kathy, you in particular, you told me a story where you were at Caesar's Palace fighting for the title with broken ribs. And I'm like, okay, I'm a baby. I would have probably said, hey, I got broken ribs. So that's, if you could help me out and help the audience out, explain a little bit about your history, the level you got. I mean, you were on like big TV shows and flew all over the world teaching. And, you know, you were, if it was today, these MMA, like you were a big deal. So help me out and explain to the audience.
Okay.
Kat, please. I'm going to say Kat,
yes.
Please.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Gosh, I started studying Aikido. A friend of mine invited me to her Aikido class on March Air Force Base, and I didn't fall in love with Aikido at the time. I fell in love with the family structure that was provided there. I didn't have that at home, so I really enjoyed how everybody helped each other and worked with each other, and how gentle he was. He was this big giant black guy. He was just a Buddha, and very extremely gentle and kind and considerate and thoughtful, and he was really caring and nurturing. So I clung to that, and I studied that until I got my black belt. And during that time, I also got into Kung Fu San Soo. And in Kung Fu San Soo, you can't compete with it because you learn to stick your fingers knuckle deep in somebody's eye and crush their testicles and stomp on their knee and hit them in the windpipe. And where did you get that image?
Excuse me, I got that from your page. The guy,
okay.
I got that from your page because the guy you were talking about sounded like an angel, and you have some really cool images on your page, so I stole them. I'm freaky like that.
It's not stealing. You borrowed it. It's all good.
No, I mean, it was. Come on, you wouldn't want to hold that
we're
picture
all free
back.
To
That's
use
a
it.
cool.
No,
that's a cool
we're all
image.
free to use it. It's a very cool image.
I was
anyway.
You're ruining everything. I was trying to just say like that black gentleman you said who was like kind and everything. I thought that would be sweet, and you had to like be like, where'd you get that image? Oh my god. Okay, go on, Kathy. Thank you.
okay, I get it.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
I know you do. You wouldn't put up with me. Go ahead.
While I was studying Kung Fu San Soo, I was also studying Kali and JKD, a little bit of JKD, and a little bit of Wing Chun, just a little bit. And then I would go to tournaments and compete in forums because I didn't do point fighting. I just felt that at that time I felt that it was just helped you develop bad habits, and because there was only allowed to do focused contact to the face, they weren't allowed to strike full contact to the face. What I was watching, so I competed in forums, and this one girl kept challenging me to fight against her in point fighting, and I didn't like her approach. I didn't like her attitude. So I just answered basically with, well, if you want to fight, let's go back and fight. I don't do this point fighting stuff. And I was pretty turned off to it at the time. And months later, after constantly egging me on and trying to get me to do point fighting with her, her coach, her instructor, called my instructor up and asked if I'd be willing to do an exhibition kickboxing bout, because she weighed 190 pounds. I see that. And I weighed 120 at the time. So as soon as he asked my instructor if I'd be willing to do this exhibition kickboxing match, I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Because I knew what she wanted to do. I knew she had it out for me, and she wanted to basically just tear my face off.
Wow.
So
okay.
I had 10 days to learn how to kickbox.
Damn, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, 10 days to learn how.
Okay, wait 1 second. Stop.
Days.
Wait 1 sec. Okay, all right. You said it again. I was going to ask you how many days, but you said it before I asked.
10. 10 days.
10. Okay, got it.
They called me 10 days before the kickboxing match. She had been doing kickboxing for 2 years, and obviously I'd never done it. So
piece of cake. We got this. 10 days. We can do this, right, Rusty?
10 days.
Rusty, we got 10 days. Don't shit yourself. Okay, don't shit yourself.
No, really. Folks, it's one of those don't try this at home things, because this is not a good idea. Just don't.
Kathy, you're so good at telling these stories. I love your stories. My God, this is so good.
So I went to a local boxing gym and I said, can you just teach me how to throw basic punches for 10 days?
Got like a 10-day program?
Yes,
I need to be a rock star in 10 days. You got a rock star kickboxing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I need to fight this chick who's been doing it for 2 years in 10 days.
Is this your first title or no? Is this a title?
No, it wasn't a title. It was just
your
fight.
First experience. Yeah, your fight.
My first experience, yes. Now, I have to say that one of the benefits of training in Kung Fu San Soo is that it teaches you to strike in combinations all the time. It's never just one strike or two strikes. It's always combinations of 3, 4 or more, and a lot of times it's overkill with Kung Fu, with San Soo. But anyway, we came to the fight, and it was my coach and several of my students who were there. The entire rest of the facility, the auditorium, was filled with their students. It were their judges. It was their referee. So everything was stacked up against me, even though it was an exhibition, right? Well, the fight began, and she split my lip open.
Oh,
I think one of the first or second strikes, she split my lip open, and it was on. It was on at that moment.
Yeah. On like Donkey Kong.
It was on like Donkey Kong. So I was so damn scared. It reminds me of stories that Muhammad Ali would tell me when he was so scared that he would just try to act super insane.
Excuse me. Did you just say your friend Muhammad Ali? You know what's funny? Let me tell you my Muhammad Ali story. My father took me to get Snickers in the Allentown Mall, and we sat right next to Muhammad Ali, and they were buying shoes together. And he was a very nice gentleman, and my father had a great time with him. And of course, I was like, "Holy shit, that's Muhammad Ali." Okay, I'm sorry. So your friend was saying, who happened to be Muhammad Ali?
It just reminded me of stories that he would tell about being so scared that he decided to act like a total crazy man and scare his opponent. So
that's what he was doing with the eye taunting and the dancing and the bee dancing and nice. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you pulled a Mel Gibson and you did that. Whoa, 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 and then
no, I didn't pull a Mel Gibson. Jesus Christ.
I thought you were about to go postal. She busted your lip.
I realized then that the more afraid I am, the more scared I am, the faster and harder I hit somebody because I'm scared. So I was hitting her as often as I possibly could. I mean, I was just punches and bunches. I didn't stop. And
you made it sound cute there. Punches and bunches, Rusty.
I know. And I remember at one point
so cute.
The bell rang, the first bell rang.
Ding, ding.
She goes back to her corner to sit down because I'm just pounding the shit out of her. I mean, she's hitting me too, but I was just so scared. I just kept hitting her and hitting her and hitting her. And she sat down in her corner, and I stood there in the middle of the ring saying, "Come on, get up. Don't sit down. Screw this rest time. Get up." And I was just egging her on. Yeah. At the end of every round, I was just standing in the middle of the ring, egging her on. Come on. I didn't stop. I didn't sit down to rest. I didn't do any of that. I just stood there in the middle of the ring saying, "What are you doing sitting down? Get up. Get over here." Yeah, I know. Just because I was scared. I didn't want her to know.
But this poor girl thought, like, wait a second, I'm supposed to just come in here, kick her ass, and get out of here. This
is crazy.
Right, thank you. She's like, wait a second. She's completely got
exactly
me with my game.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
I mean, at one point, I had her in a headlock, which is totally illegal. I had her in a headlock, and I'm uppercutting her in the face as hard as I can. Yeah. And my referee was Peter Sugarfoot Cunningham, who was a seven-time world.
Peter Sugarfoot Cunningham, yes.
Yay, Pete!
He was my referee, and at the end of the fight, he looked at me and he goes, "You're going to be a world champion." And I said, "Yeah, okay. You know, I was just having fun."
Yeah. Well, I think I know why. I know why. Yeah. When you're like, I don't have to sit down. Let's just keep this shit going. Well, who's ringing the bell? What are you ringing? Who needs a rest?
I'm just having fun.
I'm Kathy effing Long here.
Here's one of the best. Wait, it's not over. Here's one of the best parts about the whole story.
Oh, wait, hold on before you continue. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to this show, this is not the first story. The better story is when a cocky football player wanted to take on the champ. But yeah, let's get finishing this crazy one. And Rusty, thanks for chiming in with the funnies because it's like I need this help. My brain is trying to absorb what's happening here. Go ahead. This is the best part of the story.
The best part of the story is the fight's over, right? And
it's over.
The referee, because there's only 3 rounds, the referee gets into the middle of the ring, grabs the microphone, and he says, "That was a great job, ladies and gentlemen. Give the ladies a hand, and we're tallying up the scores right now." And
oh my God, no.
Yeah, no.
I know the outcome.
It's an exhibition. Right? No, listen. Just listen. So,
be quiet, listen.
My Kung Fu Sansu instructor walks up to him. He puts his arm around him. He puts his arm around him, and he goes, "So, we were told this is an exhibition. Your girl weighs 190, my girl weighs 120. I'll tell you what, you announce a winner, and I'm going to break your arm right here, right now."
Wait. Hashtag listen.
Hashtag listen.
Hashtag listen.
Dude. So the referee goes...
You didn't think I was going to be prepared for this show tonight? Dude?
So the referee
I know how you tell stories. I was ready.
That was an excellent exhibition, ladies. Excellent exhibition. Give the ladies a hand. And so they come up with 2 trophies and hand us each a trophy because,
this is horse shit.
Seriously, no. It was an exhibition. There's
you need
no
a trophy.
Winner announced. No,
Bullshit.
They gave me a trophy. My own school put together this really big trophy, which I still have from 1987. 1987. I've been fighting for 31 years, off and on.
I keep forgetting you're older than me because you don't look old. You look beautiful.
Dude, I am older than you.
In 1987, I was in Philadelphia about to graduate art school. Yeah.
Philadelphia. Yeah, the city of brotherly love. I got a story about Philadelphia.
Well, don't go with all your stories. You'll have to come back on the show, I mean, we got other shows to do. But yeah, so you were cool, you were cool with okay, you get a trophy, I get a trophy. At the end of the match, were you his friends? Were you his friends then?
Yes. And you know what else?
That's amazing.
Check this out. Before
the fight, you wanted to murder her. Before the fight, you wanted to just destroy her.
I didn't want to destroy her. I was just scared because she's this little refrigerator. I mean, she's built like a goddamn refrigerator. She was so short and stocky. And
shout out to all you.
Here, she was just a tank, a little freaking walking tank.
All right, I like refrigerator better because that's funny.
Yeah.
You fought a refrigerator.
What she was built like.
Right.
Yeah, I did. It was badass.
Rusty.
Yes.
Quick, tell me a story on your side now. Like, let's flip back and forth. And then remember, we're going to talk about that crazy guy who played football. I think a running back, was it? A running back who just was just relentlessly. All right, here, Rusty, here's what I'll do. I'll set you up. You talked about how, and we wanted to really, I believe, if I'm right, Kat and Rusty, we wanted to talk about respect on this show.
Yes.
And how a lot of times you, as being professional women athletes or just women, sometimes are disrespected. Kat, you had a whole long time to tell that story, and you got that big story coming with the running back. Just let Rusty start with this one. Rusty, now I forgot what I was going to ask her. What was I going to ask her?
You're going to ask her to tell a story.
About how she sometimes. Okay, here's what. Let me set it up. Now it's coming back to me. Kat, come on, I've been taking. Did you see all the pills I just took? Kat,
I did.
I was wondering what that was.
No, I was only pretending. That was just show business. I wasn't going to eat them all. I just
Tom. Wait, Tom. Can you see Rusty?
Yeah, she looks beautiful.
Why can't I see Rusty? This sucks.
Because it's the software, and you know what gets me crazy when somebody comes on my show and complains about the software. I am out of control with the software. I have no control over it. If you want me to try and reboot the show so you can see her, I will do it. You just say it, and Big Daddy will try.
No, it's okay.
No, I swear I'll do it. Wait, what are you playing with, Rusty? The pills. You're on the pills too.
Yeah.
It sucks being old, doesn't it?
No, it's like earlier, all I heard was this, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Then I saw you go, blah, and then I was like,
you know what's funny? I did that on purpose to see if people would pay attention. I thought they were thinking I was gonna pop all them pills. I will tell you this though, the pain was that bad. You'd want to take all those pills, but anyway, you were talking about how sometimes, and then this will segue into Kat's next story, where a lot of times, what did you say, Rusty? Where a gentleman came into your dojo and said, "Where's the boss?" or something?
Yeah. And yeah, this guy comes in, and this has happened more than once.
It's happened to me too.
Yeah, this guy comes into my studio and asks, "So, what do you guys do here?" So, I explained everything that we do. A mixed martial art called Kajukenbo. That we teach Tai Chi, that we teach Wushu, Filipino fighting arts, blade arts, weapons, the whole 9 yards, and street self-defense. He's like, so what do you do? So in order to explain it to him, I had to demonstrate on someone. So I brought out one of my assistants and just threw him around and beat him up.
Beat the crap out of him. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, so, we have a intro lesson program, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And then he looks around like this. So can I talk to your master?
Ooh. I'm just going to let her keep laughing sarcastically.
In my head, well, this is the look I gave him. It was like, uh-huh. And in my head, I'm thinking,
jaw going.
I can just, And in my head, I'm thinking, I can just go, you know what? I'll be right back. Walk out the door and come back in going, hi, I'm the chief instructor. How are you? But I didn't want to make him look like a complete idiot, right?
No, why not? Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Okay, so basically you've been disrespected a lot of times. That happens. Listen, it happens in men's world too. We get disrespected. People, and it happens the other way where women will disrespect a man. It's annoying, but it must be really annoying in your world because you were basically saying how, and this is going to jump right into Kat's next story, about how some people will just want it, men in particular, especially in your field, or just macho men in particular, will just want to say, let's see what she's got, ladies. Like, what do you got? Like, you really think you could beat me, a guy?
I love this story, and you guys out there will love it too.
Well, girls are going to like it more than guys, and guys are actually the really cool men like me are going to go, this is a friggin' awesome story because somebody ran his mouth off where he really shouldn't have run his mouth off. Kat, I can't give you a better introduction for that story, then take it away.
Okay, well, many years into having our school, we were actually pretty successful. And one of my students
Excuse me, I'm sorry, pretty successful?
In the school.
You're being pretty
school
humble.
was growing.
Okay. Yeah. Where are you in your career by this time? Do you have belts?
Yes.
Okay, people need to know this, that she's a belt-holding champion, world champ.
I think I had only had 2 or 3 world titles at that time. I didn't have all 5.
Okay. So you were just starting out.
Right.
The champion belt starter kit. Okay. But the guys start busting your chops through your students. This is a great story, isn't it? Rusty, you know this story. I know this story. This is a great story.
Yes.
All right. So
you could hear this. You could hear this 10 times, Kat, and it's still a great story. All right. I'll shut up now, but I'm getting excited because I know I'm about to hear this story.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Go. Listen. Everybody listen.
One of my students, who was 16 or 17, I don't remember exactly, he had 2 jobs. He worked in the movie theater on the weekends, and then he worked at Foot Locker after school. So he mentioned he said, yeah, one of my instructors is a world champion. And to his coworker at Foot Locker, who was a fairly tall and well-built black guy who was a running back at the local college. And he was actually a star running back at the local college because he had a lot of promise and a lot of potential. So this college kid, let's just call him...
College kid.
All right, the college kid.
It's a great name.
Looks at my student and he says, what, she's a girl?
Oh,
and my student said...
Oh, that hurt.
We'll call him Meathead. Let's just call him Meathead.
Yeah. Okay. So Meathead goes, what? She's a girl? And my student says, yeah, she's a world champion. And she's a black belt in Kung Fu Sansu. She's a black belt in Aikido. And the guy goes, I don't care what she's a black belt in. I can kick her ass easy. I did boxing when I was a kid.
Oh.
Right. So my student... in my defense, because, obviously I wasn't there, he goes, no, I don't think you understand. She's a really good fighter, and she's really proficient in street fighting. And the guy goes, whatever, I don't care.
God, this guy sounds like a butthead already in the story, Rusty. Listen,
total butthead.
Your student had your back, though. That's the cool part of this story. He had your back. And he should have added to the guy who was probably just such a douchebag, he wouldn't have listened anyway. He should have said, and she's also a sweet human being who really doesn't want to hurt anybody. But the guy wouldn't have heard it anyway. Anyway, continue on, because this guy's big mouth's about to get him in some serious shit. It's a great story.
So the college kid realized, Butthead realized.
Wait a minute. Is it Butthead or is it Meathead? I'm getting confused now with, like I said, college kid. I like Meathead too, Rusty. I vote Meathead.
Meathead it is. So Meathead.
From here on out. Yeah.
All right. Meathead realizes that what he's saying is really getting under the skin of my student. So because he sees that how my student's reacting,
right,
and he knows he's getting to him, he just continues and continues and continues and continues, and it gets worse and worse, and months go by. Because they both work at
or something.
They both work at the same jobs. They both work at the theater. They both work at Foot Locker.
Oh, this kid has to deal with this douchebag every day.
At work, every day.
At work,
he's dealing with Meathead.
2 jobs.
2 jobs, right?
Hey, who's that? Wait, who's that coming this way? Oh shit, it's Meathead, the douchebag. Okay, go ahead.
But
he's good at football though, apparently.
Yeah, very good at football. And because he's much bigger than my student's very intimidated by him. Very intimidated by him.
All right. The kid's scared of him. I got it. But the
kid's scared of him.
Got promise at this point of the story. That's the key. The moral of this story, before we end the story, is that you really want to watch. Listen, I played Rock'em Sock'em Robots when I was a kid. Okay, I was really good at it. I used to get it where it knocked that plastic thing right off.
They look like this.
Right, but that don't mean that I can walk into your dojo and say, hey, What's up, bitch? I'm bigger than you. Like, I'm big, so I should be able to take you. Anyway, I'm screwing up your story. This is such a great story, Rusty. Listen up. Listen.
Okay.
Everybody else listen. I know.
Oh, they're listening. Trust me.
I love this.
So Rose says she's badass. Yes, Rose, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Okay.
Is that one of your friends, Rose?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, cool. How you doing, Rose? Shout out from Big Daddy. Good to see you.
Hi, Rose.
Rose, listen up. This is a great story.
Okay.
Are you ever going to continue the story? What's going on here? You need a drink? You need a break? Me and Rusty can take it from here. You can go to the kitchen and maybe make something light for yourself, a little dessert.
Jesus fucking Christ. Let me talk.
Whoa. Okay. I love that you put up with me.
I do.
I'm trying to lighten up this story because it's about to go down. And from here on out, shit's about to go down.
Okay, so for months and months, this goes on. And my student never said a word to me or my instructor. Never said a word. He just dealt with it himself. Until one day, one of the managers, I think it was the manager of the Foot Locker, calls our school. He gets a hold of the number, calls the school, talks to my instructor, and says, "Can you shut this kid up? Is there any way you can shut this damn kid up?" Not my student, but the other guy, Meathead. "Can you shut Meathead up? Because he just won't stop flapping his mouth. And it's getting to the point now where it's really disruptive and we can't stand it anymore." And Eric says, "Okay, so are you in contact with Meathead?" And he goes, "Yeah, I can be the in-between and I'll set up everything." So the manager says to Meathead, "All right, well, put your money where your mouth is, son. We're going to meet at the school at this time on this day, and we're going to see what you can do with this girl."
Oh,
and
it's
Meathead says, "Oh, hell yeah, it's on." So Meathead invites the local news. He invites his girlfriend. He invites all of his school friends, and they all show up. They all show up.
Can I break in here? Just give you a break?
Yeah.
In case you want to take a little sip of water. This is the best part. This is the part where cocky guy actually has to up his douchebaggery to an extreme level and bring his friends and the media and
his girlfriend.
Oh, the best part of the story is the girlfriend at the end. This is hysterical. Rusty, do you remember the girlfriend?
It is the best part.
It really is. It really is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to not lose my shit with this story. This is such a great story.
He walks into our school.
Rose says, Eric, "Rest in peace, Meathead." Rose says in the chat, "Rest in peace, Meathead."
Sarah, Meathead is going to die.
Yeah, that's what Sarah said. They're starting to actually figure out the end of this story.
Now,
they haven't even heard that.
Keep in mind, this is a star at the college. He's the star running back. I mean, he's the one that is constantly, winning the football games all the time.
He sounds like a great football player.
He was a great football player. From what I gather, I don't know. I never saw him play football. But anyway.
Okay, I heard that sounds like someone's about to die.
Yeah, no shit.
Rusty, that was awesome. Boom.
That was totally awesome.
Boom. That was great. First of all, can I just say you guys are making my birthday. The fact that I have two world champions on my show, bless you and namaste and thank you.
Thank you.
Yay,
okay.
Thank you.
So Meathead walks in with his entourage.
Fucking Meathead. Here he comes. He looks like something out of MTV. Here he comes with his pretty girlfriend, cocky mouth, talking shit. Sorry, Captain.
My instructor hands him a release form and says this is required. This is required for everyone who comes into the school. Of course.
Rusty, don't you have paperwork with a pen? You could have your piece of paperwork and a pen. Sign here, son. It's about to get ugly for you.
Sign here. Sign your
Yeah.
life away.
That's
Just
exactly what he did.
Just in
The
case
first thing he
3-time
did.
champion Kathy Long takes your head off at the shoulders. We need a signature poo here, right here. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
So he signs the release form. The news comes in. They get everything all set up. His friends are marking around. All my students are, not all, but a big portion of my students and my fighters were there. And one of my heavyweight fighters walks up to the kid, walks up to Meathead and says, hey, look, if you apologize right now, maybe she'll just call it off.
This is great. You gave him an out. This is great. You're like, listen,
one of my fighters gave him an out. He goes, if you just apologize right now, she'll probably just blow it off and it'll be fine.
Don't you remember the part of the story earlier when I mentioned to my audience that you're actually a sweet human being, and you probably would have been like cool with that if it was a sincere apology. If it was a sincere apology,
right?
Some people talk shit and they apologize, but they don't really mean it. They don't. It's not sincere. Anyway, the guy didn't fall for that bullshit. He's like, no, ring the bell. Dummy.
No, he's like, fuck that shit. I'm going to kick her ass. And my fighter.
Okay, I got to stop you. Stop the train. Stop the train. I know people Sarah's getting pissed off that I'm breaking into you, but this guy's like the biggest asshole on the planet, isn't he?
And he's a big guy, even though he's a running back. To me, he's a big guy.
Yeah, but you fight really good when you're scared, so he's screwed.
Yeah. Well, this was one of those times when I fought when I was really angry, and my head was very clear. Very clear.
Watch out.
Yeah. Rusty.
I was hyper focused. Yeah,
Rusty, do the horns again. It's
the wrong time.
Tom, let me tell the story. Let me tell the story.
Go. I'm sorry. I was just humming in the background.
All right.
This guy's about.
So, my instructor brings us into the ring, and he puts on a set of gloves, puts headgear on him, and he says, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. You are allowed to do absolutely anything you want to do, anything." And the guy goes, "I can do anything?" And my instructor said, "Yes, you can do anything you want. And all she's going to do is kick. She's not going to punch. She's not going to do anything but kick at you." And I look at him. I look at my instructor like, "Are you fucking serious? All you're going to allow me to do is kick the guy?" I started getting angry. That was the first time I started getting pissed.
Yeah, but he knows that you fight better when you're pissed. He's actually pretty brilliant. He's at another level of Yoda here. Come on, give him some credit.
I fight better when I'm scared. I fight better when I'm scared, not pissed. I mean, however, this is an exception.
Remind me never to come behind you and startle you and try to get you to just scare you.
I would just be startled. That's okay.
Okay, that's good. You respond, not react.
Yeah. Correct.
I know.
Anyway.
I'm paying attention, Sensei.
So he says this to the kid, and then he goes, "All she's going to do is kick." And I'm looking at my instructor like, "Are you fucking serious?" And he looks at me like, "Don't touch his face." And I went, "What? Not only am I only allowed to kick, I can't touch his face?" He goes, "No, you can't touch his face. Just from his chest down. Don't touch his face." And I thought, okay, great. So he can do absolutely anything he wants, and all I'm allowed to do is kick. That's it. That's all I'm allowed to do. Yes.
Teacher, I have a question. Why would he do that to you? Why would he take away your arsenal like that?
Because he felt that it would be a bazillion times worse if I beat the guy's face up.
He was also afraid that the lawyers might have overridden that paperwork the kid signed.
Oh, it's not worth the paper it's written on, frankly. I mean, you can sign a release form all you want to, but legally, you can get right around it. And I've watched it happen.
Okay.
Thankfully, not in my school. Anyway, so he says one last thing to the guy. He goes, "When you decide that you're done and you don't want to do this anymore, you can just say, 'Fuck it, I'm done.'" And the guy looked at him very puzzled. And he goes, "You mean I'll just say, 'Fuck it, I'm done'?" And my instructor said, "Yes, just say, fuck it, I'm done.
Hashtag fuck it, I'm done.
Fuck it, I'm done.
I'm done.
My instructor was giving him an out. He's giving Meathead an out.
Meathead got 2 outs by now.
Yeah.
He had 2 outs. He refused to take them.
Okay, he goes, are you ready? He says to the Meathead. Meathead says, yeah, I'm ready. And looks.
You know what would have been funny if the referee at this point in the story would have been actually calling him Meathead at the actual event.
Oh my God, that would have been funny. I don't even remember the guy's name. So the bell rings, and I just take a few steps back. I don't even walk toward him at all. I just kind of watch how he moves. And he started throwing these, makeshift punches in the air like he had done some boxing before. And I thought, okay, well, let's see what his footwork's like. So I moved around him a little bit, and his footwork was not bad, especially for a running back and a kid who did boxing. So I made sure that I stayed just outside of his hand range. And as he took a step toward me, I just roundhouse kicked his knee, the outside of his knee, as hard as I could. Absolutely as hard as I could.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I've heard this story before, and I don't forget great stories. There was one piece you left out.
What?
You were in the air about to take his head off, and your corner.
That's a little later. That was a little later.
So he took a hit to the knee first.
You blew it. You blew it.
I fucked it up.
You're jumping ahead in the story, dude.
It's my birthday. Leave me alone.
I don't care.
No, because I thought you were going in. I thought you were going into lunge to kill with just one headshot. But that's okay, folks. Pretend I didn't say that. Erase. I didn't say that.
Well, I
great story anyway.
Right.
The lady knew Muhammad Ali, folks. What do you want from me? I mean, I'm giving you great entertainment here.
Hey, I've been to his house.
I have been to his Foot Locker. I was actually buying shoes next to the man in Allentown, PA. It's almost the same.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's my stupid little story with Muhammad.
It's not stupid.
He was a very nice man. He was very nice.
Incredibly nice. He's such a wonderful man.
A lot of people, you have no idea how I just remember him just emitting niceness. Very cool.
That's him. Anyway.
Yeah.
I kick him just on the outside of his knee as hard as I can, and he falls down. And I take a few steps back, and I just stood there and waited.
Pussy.
And he gets up. And he has this look on his face like, oh my fucking God, that hurt. That was the look on his face.
Yeah, I didn't expect that shit. Wait a second. This girl's got some game.
Like, holy shit, she kicks hard.
She's a girl butt. Rusty, are you still awake?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone.
He starts coming toward me.
Wait, what?
Go ahead.
No,
you okay?
Rusty's looking at the phone. She's looking at the fans. She's looking at the people talking to her in the chat.
Wow, you sound like you're underwater, Tom.
You're sounding garbled.
Right,
yeah, very garbled.
I'll reboot the show. Don't go nowhere.
What?
What? I don't know what he's saying, Kat.
I don't know what he's saying either. I'm missing it.
Sound like you're underwater, man.
1 sec.
1 second. Okay.
Oh, lost camera. We've lost visual, folks.
He should just restart it so we can see each other. I mean, I can see you.
I want to see you. You can see. Yeah, I can see you. I can. You can see me. That sucks because I can't. Yes. I can't see you. Meh.
Well,
I can't see you.
I guess we're gonna wait till Tom comes back for Kat to continue her story.
Wait a minute.
So I think he's coming back now. Right now we're on split screen. For those of you that are tuning in, this is the Big Daddy Roadshow. And for my friends and Kat's friends that are just seeing this for the first time, Tom Dwyer is in the back office there fixing his camera. And we're on the Big Daddy Roadshow.
Big Daddy Roadshow. Yo, Tom. Tom's back.
I think he's there. Hey, we pulled some weight for you until you got your camera back up, dude.
You are such a professional.
Wait a minute.
Radio host.
You are such a professional.
Tom, wait a minute.
What? Wait, what?
Rusty can see me and she can see you, but I can't see Rusty? and I can see you.
Okay, don't make me get in a bus and come out there and roundhouse kick you. I can't control the software.
But wait, why is it that she can see me and I can't see her? Why does she get to see me?
What? I've already forgotten now what you're even asking. I'm trying to keep up.
Let it all go. Let it go. Let it go. All right.
I want you to see her. Don't think it's like it's me. It's not.
You know, it's very much like when keys get thrown into a vat of molten lava. You just let them go. Just let it go. I'm letting it go.
Wow, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Did we kill this guy yet? In your story, did we kill him yet? Is he dead? I'm sorry.
No, we waited for you. We waited for you. So,
thank God.
Yay.
I kick him in the side of his knee. He falls down. I step back. I wait till he picks himself up off the floor. And my instructor said, are you good? Are you calling fuck it? And the kid goes, I'm okay. But the look on his face was he was not okay.
Yeah, he was petrified.
Yeah.
And hurt.
So I decide to get closer to him because I know he has a hard time putting weight on his knee now.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It feels like my back does in this chair right now from my laying on the floor for 2 hours today. This poor bastard's knee feels like my back. He's fucked. He should just, you know what he should just do? Go, hey, Kat, I'm very sorry for disrespecting you. I was a complete douchebag. Will you please forgive me? And can I buy you a steak at Ruth Chris' house? You know, what's your favorite color? Can I buy you some flowers? I really need to apologize to you. With deepest respect, please let me live. Please. Thank you.
It would have been awesome if he had said that, but he didn't.
No, not douchebag, not meathead. No.
Meathead did not. So I move around him, and he's throwing some punches and trying to get closer to me and trying to throw some punches, and I'm just making a miss. And then I literally jumped into it and kicked him again in the same spot, in the exact same spot.
It's kind of, is that a dick? Wait, is that a dick move or no?
What do you mean a dick move?
Well, why couldn't you take out his other leg so he can't walk at all? And what the hell? Why
no,
pick on
I just wanted
leg?
that because it was the front one. It was the one closest to me, and I wanted to destroy it.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, really quick, your friends, the new people to the show, the new friends coming to the Big Daddy Roadshow, just realize that this is a serious yet silly show. So we try to add humor.
Silly.
She's about to kill a man, so I'm just trying to lighten up the mood a little.
So I kick him again, and he falls down again.
Did you kick him in the balls just for fun? Did you kick him in the nuts?
No.
All right, that would have been a fun move, though.
Destroy the leg.
No, I just wanted to destroy his knee. That's all I wanted to do. I just decided, you know what? I'm not allowed to do anything else, so I'm just going to destroy that knee. It's closest to me, and I'm going to destroy it. So I kicked it again. He fell down again. He gets up. I kick it again. He falls down again. And he's getting up slower each and every time. A little more slowly. A little more painfully. And he's having trouble putting weight on that knee. So I decided at one point, I just thought, you know what? Screw this. I ran at him and I jumped up and I was going to kick him in the head as hard as I could to knock him out. And my instructor yells, no! So I stopped, literally in midair, and put my foot down and didn't kick him in the head like I wanted to.
Like you wanted to.
I really wanted to, desperately wanted to.
All them months of him.
All them months. But I didn't even know. I didn't know he had done that.
Right.
And, the more I kept thinking about it during the little fight that we had, I wouldn't call it a fight, but anyway, during that time.
Wait, hold on. What would you call it?
Slaughter.
Right. The poor guy. It's like there was a party and he was coming. He was a big part of the party, but then he got there.
It wasn't a party. It was a slaughter.
He was a dud. He's a dud.
He was invited to a party, but he didn't realize it was a slaughter.
Hey, Restita said in the chat, which is weird that she's in the chat and actually live on my show at the same time. She says, #beast. That's great. Hey, your fans
like beast
watching.
mode.
You guys have the comments rocking. Thank you guys in the chat for rocking the comments.
I honestly don't know how many times I kicked him in the knee, But the last time I kicked him, he couldn't get up. He literally could not get up off the ground. And Eric, my instructor, walked up and said, "So is this where you say, 'fuck it, I'm done'?" Looking down at him. And the guy goes, "Okay." So Eric takes off his headgear, and I immediately rip off my gloves. And I'm standing there looking at the guy. I rip them off as fast as I can.
Right.
And they help him to his feet.
Get this meathead away from me.
My instructor and some other guy helps him to his feet. And I looked at him and I said, "Now I need you to apologize to me in front of your girlfriend, your friends, the media, and all my students and my instructor and myself. I need you to apologize to me." And the guy looked down at the ground. He goes, blah, 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 blah. And I said, "Oh, no. No. You need to say, 'I'm sorry, I was an asshole.'" And you need to say it out loud now so everybody can hear you.
Right.
So finally, he did. He goes, "I'm really sorry, I was an asshole." And at that very moment, his girlfriend is jumping up and down going, "She kicked your ass! She kicked your fucking ass!" Oh my God.
She was looking for a new boyfriend that same night.
At that moment, his friends come in and they grab him, and he's limping. He can't put any weight on that knee at all. So they get him through the ropes, they get him out the door, they get him in the car, and he leaves. So his girlfriend leaves with him. The media decided, we're not going to shoot any of this because it was just too embarrassing for him. But I found out that it was a local news.
Every time she mentions that, I just want to throttle somebody. It'll be too embarrassing for him, but he's talking shit about Kat for months.
But you know what? One of my students recorded it.
Oh, do we have it? Do we have it from my website? Please tell me we have it. Please.
No, sir. No,
please,
sir.
with sugar. Come on.
No, sir.
Won't everybody in the chat pitch in like $20?
No, I'm just telling you. Listen. I have no control over it because I never got a copy of it ever.
Oh, this sucks. Don't even tease us with that video now. That was a goofy move. Rusty, that was killer again. You're good with the voices. You're like, wah. Wait, let me get Rusty back in the show here. Why are you pissed off, Kat? Excuse me, Rusty. Why were you like annoyed? They're like, play the footage. Let's show why did you're upset?
Every time she mentions the fact that the media said, "Oh, we're not going to film this because it'd be too embarrassing for him." I just want to throttle somebody because for months he's talking shit about Kat, talking shit and saying I could kick her ass. I'm gonna wipe the floor with her.
And I'm not even aware of it.
The other, just a woman. Yeah.
That line.
No. He kept saying, "Oh, she's just a girl. She's just a girl. I can kick her ass."
Yeah. And yet it would be too humiliating for him. But that was back in the days where it was still, good old boys world, wasn't it?
Hey, when I was bouncing in a bar and beating guys up and, taking knives away from them, breaking their arms and tossing them outdoors, thank God nobody was too happy back then because,
Yeah, right?
I would have been in jail many times. And instead it was, "Oh, well, I'm not going to admit a girl kicked my ass. I'm not going to say anything because a girl kicked my ass." Right.
But the problem is with the guy, the football player, his girlfriend, the rest of his life sees him.
She kicked his ass. She kicked your ass.
Well, it was just his girlfriend, but his friends, all his buddies showed up because they wanted to see their friend kicking some chick's ass who's a world champion.
This poor guy's he's shoveling French fries in a bag somewhere in some unknown city.
Guarantee you he never played football again, ever.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of a shitty part. What's really sad about this part of the story is here's a guy that if he just would have been cool, he could have had a great career, and he kind of screwed up.
Could have been in the NFL, could have been on a good team, could have made a ton of money, but he had to be an asshole.
Shoulda, woulda.
Hey, can I just say, girls? Again, I know I do this too much, but thank you for being on the Big Daddy Road Show. And can I just say that some of your followers that have followed you to the show tonight are savages. They're friggin' savages. They're pretty brutal in the chat. And I seen somebody say fuck them. Well, listen.
Rose. That's Rose.
You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow.
Rose is pretty badass, I think.
You don't fuck with Rose.
Oh, listen.
You just don't fuck with Rose.
Rose, you want to come live? Rose, you want to come live with Big Daddy right now? I'll screw with you, Rose. I swear to God, I'll do it. That's what I do. It's a show. I'm just
Good
listen.
luck.
Can I stop 1 second and explain something? This is going to be Kat. You'll appreciate this. I actually got a call last night from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm getting so many people. Well, this is going to be an interesting story. I'm just kind of giving you a break so you can go back to your. You want to get a sip of soda or something? Listen, this is cool. You're going to appreciate this. The lady calls up and she tells me that she's an empath. You know what empaths are?
Yep.
Sir, yes, sir. I am one.
Okay. Well, she was claiming that I'm one too. And I'm like, yeah, I felt that way once in a while. But anyway, regardless, she was like really freaking me out. She was freaking me out. And she where the hell was I going with this? Because when you started drinking with that big jug of water, I'm like, look at the size of that friggin' water Cat's drinking out of. Anyway, she called me last night. Oh, and she was saying about how same thing. She was disrespected in her professional world, but she would call people out on it. Like she works in the entertainment business, and a lot of guys will come at her with cockiness and whatnot, and she'll lay them out verbally. She'll be like, "Listen, sunshine." But yeah, empath, Russ. That's right. Do you guys know Russ too?
Yep. He's my friend.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Russ who?
Russ Ebert.
Russ Ebert. He's always on my show.
He's rocking
that guy
the
on
chat.
my show.
I appreciate.
He was one of the guys that made the Kathy Long jokes. Russ, send him over.
Oh, wait a minute. No,
Russ.
Wait a minute, Russ. Are you the one with the toilet paper meme? I have that to put on the screen.
Oh yeah, I think he did that.
Yeah.
Russ, please start making memes for the Big Daddy Roadshow. That was hysterical. When I read this,
that was hysterical.
Here's what it says. It says professional fighter Kathy Long once had her own brand of toilet paper. And it says it was recalled because will you just let me? I'm going to put it up, but I can't read it if I put it up on the screen. It says,
oh, that's right. That's right.
It was recalled because it refused to take anybody's shit. Here it is. This is hysterical. This is hysterical.
Oh my
Russ,
God.
Russ, props to you. Props to you, Russ. That's some good stuff. Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, I don't want to really get into the empath thing tonight, guys. But Rose, oh God, I love Rose. Rose is going to be a great part of the show eventually. Rock in the chat, Rose.
You got to get to know Rose. She's really badass. You got to get to know her.
Yeah, she is.
I'm not going to lie. I'm afraid all my girlfriends that are badasses. That's all I have is badass girlfriends. That's all I have.
There you go.
It's kind of comforting though, because I know you wouldn't hurt me. You as much as you want to punch me, Kat. I know you wouldn't.
I would never.
I'll tap out. I'll just say I give up.
I would never. I can't hit somebody that I care about, so I just can't.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but
not wired that way.
Right, Rusty. You tell a story now. Let's talk about sports injuries. Let's switch gears.
All right. Well,
or more importantly, working through them. Because then we can kind of like maybe finish with the Caesar's Palace. I want to know what it feels like to be in Caesar's Palace. You're not up against some stupid football player who doesn't even know how to walk in this ring and stuff. But tell us. You must have had some injuries when you were in some of your bouts and everything in your championship or your belt runs or whatever.
Who, Kat?
No. Kat's taking a break. She's just talked look at her. She's perspiring here. No, I want to hear from both of you because you did high level competition too, didn't you? Did you? All right, let me ask better questions. I'm screwing up here. Kat and I were talking about injuries. I had the injury last week from lifting weights, and then I've gone to therapy, and they ultrasounded it. That was actually Kat's advice to me. I told the therapist, he's like, "This girl knows what she's talking about." Boom. I'm going again tomorrow night. I'm going again Thursday night, and it's not great, but you can see I can lift it and I can bring it back down. I can lift it and bring it back down.
It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Well, yeah, but now I've been on the floor today for 2 hours, Kat. So now the therapist is going to be like, "You're a friggin' train wreck, Big Daddy." And anyway,
It's going
Kat,
to get better.
let me hear Rusty's. She must have had a few injuries, and more. We'll segue into two things, and then we'll just wrap as long as you girls will put up with me on my birthday. But you do,
Okay.
my question is for professional champions, people at a higher level of sporting, like, why didn't this guy that you just beat up in this story you just told, why didn't he just work through the pain and get back on the football field? Because I just don't get how you, like, somebody, all right, let me just say this. I say this all the time to my friend Kat, my dear friend Kat. You're not human. You're part cyborg. You're part Viking warrior or something. How do you mentally, you're talking about healing your stuff, which kind of goes with empath stuff and spirituality stuff. Willing yourself, what? You get, Rusty, you start, and then we'll let Kat just wait. She's going to wail on this.
I thought you were talking to Kat.
I thought so too. Okay. It's like, wait, Rusty is supposed to talk about injuries that she's worked through.
No, because your injuries that you worked through seem more severe, and
I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay, Rusty, let's hear it. Or did you just get lucky and never get hurt in a bout or something? Because Kat had some stories where she was like, really, a lot of people would have just said, you know what, I got to bow out of the title
yeah, if
fight.
you go into a ring and with the intention of knocking someone out, you're going to get hurt, right? But most of my injuries were, I guess, self-inflicted. I don't know how many times I've sprained my ankles. I mean, like to the where I'm tearing ligaments all the way up my calf, almost to behind my knee, that kind of thing. Just from jumping, landing wrong, or maybe doing something like a 360 degree, butterfly twist and landing like on the back of your neck, or just, almost landing on your head and putting out your hands because you're freaking out. That happens in wushu training. When I was training in sticks in Filipino martial arts, just to hit with the 28-inch long rattan stick that's just about this fast, pap, just that fast on the tips of your fingers, that'll make you sweat and shit yourself. It's broken.
Yeah, it does not feel good. It does not feel good. No, I've had that.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, I've seen guys like literally split their thumb, like pow, and it'll split. Their whole their whole thumb will just like a boink, that kind of thing.
I've seen it.
And it's crazy crap. Black eyes, split lips, cut scalps, cut eyes. But, and that's just par for the course. If you're doing any type of contact sport like that with sticks and knives, or anything like that.
I'm trying to read the chat while I'm listening. What I was going for is that, and maybe I didn't set it up right. Kat talked about being in situations where she was flown to a city where you have to be, before you do the title fight, you have to be there a while. And then remember, Kat, you got sick and you had to go to the athletic commission people or whatever and ask what medicines you could take.
Oh.
And there was a lot of injuries you told me in your stories right before a big fight where I would have thought that a fighter would have just been like, I can't fight. And Kat didn't have that attitude. Rusty, I was going to ask you, like, did you ever hurt yourself, like, just by landing wrong, but then you had a big tournament or something for a belt and you just fought anyway? Because that's what Kat does. I mean, that's what the stories that hit me was like she's going into the event, a major event, where a lot of people would be like, I got some pretty serious injuries here. Russ is saying eye injuries are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Imagine if you can't see, it's kind of hard to fight.
Well, I never was, one of those people that went into the ring full contact with the intent of knocking people out, that kind of thing. I mean, I did, point sparring, semi-contact, but nothing like what Kat did. So I'm not even going to compare.
But wait, Rusty, I mean, come on. When you were competing in wushu and you injured yourself, but you got up and you continued anyway. I mean, you got to tell that story.
Well, there's two stories. Yeah, there's two stories. So, it wasn't so much an injury per se as it was more my whole body was like trying to tell me to shut down because I caught a cold before I traveled out to China for one of the world championships. It was a world Tai Chi competition. And I thought, oh, I can't be sick, blah, blah, blah. I got to fly. I got to do that, da, da, da. Well, about a week later, it turned into like this raging infection where I had a fever that hovered between 103 and 104, and it was like that for like 3 days. But I kept
Not
going.
safe.
I kept going.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
Why,
Cat?
But why, Cat? What are you saying? Hold on.
Well, when you start cooking your brain at 104 degrees, your organs start getting, your organs start getting cooked, literally, and your brain. It's not good.
Yeah.
And Russ says traveling to China is a nightmare. Russ says.
It is. Well, it depends. I was lucky, but I'll get to that point. So for like 3-4 days, I was trying to keep the fever down and still going to training. To practice, and during one of the practices, I only did like maybe, I don't know, 5 moves or something. It was for part of a demonstration, and then it felt like I did. After that, it felt like I ran like 3 miles at a sprint. My heart rate wouldn't slow down, and I started feeling lightheaded, so I fainted on the training floor. And my teacher's like, "Oh my God, get up!" And she's like, "Go home. If you don't go home, I'll kick your ass myself."
Oh wow!
And yeah, so I went home, and I just spent the next 2 days on the couch. Didn't even move. Didn't even eat. And I started to feel a little better. Got my appetite back, and started getting back onto solid food. And
that's good.
Next thing you know, it was time to fly out to China. So we fly out to China, and I'm still kind of feverish, and I'm coughing, and to this day I don't even know what kind of infection it was. When I did go to the doctor, they said that they couldn't prescribe antibiotics for it because it was not bacteria. It was viral.
Right.
Wait, is it virus? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and,
you're right.
It's a virus.
I was like, okay, whatever it was. It just made me feel really, really shitty. Like I could not move.
How many hours are you on a plane? How many hours are you on a plane when you go to China?
12, I think it was like 13. Around 18.
18, yeah. I can see that.
But that wasn't counting. Yeah, it was around 18. But then there was this long layover in Korea, but
you felt like shit. In other words, when you're healthy and you're on an airline that long or an airplane that long, you feel like crap. But you feel like crap going in. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky because I had 3 seats all to myself. It was one of those big, wide planes. And Russ Ebert says, God, high altitude with a sinus condition, head explosion. Exactly. So I did everything I could to keep my sinuses dry and clear when I was up there, and put in the earplanes. Meanwhile, I'm feverish. All I did was sleep. I had, the whole 3 seats, put up the armrests, and I was out. Next thing you know, we land in Beijing, and it was a lot like Seattle, but it was August, and it was cloudy. I came from sunny, so here's this temperature change. So after a day in Beijing, I'm feeling like shit again, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to have to go to a doctor out here, and the language barrier, and it's going to be tough, right? So only T-minus 2 days until this world championship. And luckily there was a massage therapist and an herbalist, a Chinese herbalist, on the team. And they tried to dose me up and make sure I was all loosened up and stuff like that. And
they gave you a concoction, an old school concoction to drink or something, or?
Yeah, you know, the bitter crap where you're like, God,
Yeah,
you're gonna poison me, but it's supposed to be good for you. So
right.
anyway, we had to take a plane down to Hainan. Now Hainan is an island by the equator, you know, under China. So it's a tropical island pretty much, right? So we come from Beijing, which is like, oh, I don't know, even in August it was like 70, but it was cloudy, kind of rainy. We go down to like 100 and, you know, 5, 110, 120, 20 something degrees. It felt like in the shade. It's hot.
Wow.
It is MF and hot. And I have a fever.
You know, you're making me think
So,
about now. You're making me think. Look, this is actually a question I was thinking about with athletes like you. Like it seems like Kat, when you go to like a kickbox, like it's like you're there in the city, you get to acclimate a little bit. But she's coming off the plane, still feeling like crap. She's coming into gray skies, and then all of a sudden we're into the tropics. You know, I mean, we're basically animals, so that's a lot for a human body to go through, just those changes. And now you
it
gotta
was.
now you gotta perform at your level that if you were rested, it's a hard job. But now
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
lethargic and sick and the flu, and maybe you're
Oh,
pooping.
it was,
Maybe you got
it
some
was,
soupy
yeah,
poopy.
for a while it was coming out
I don't
both
know how I
ends
throw that in there.
yeah, for a while it was coming out both ends too because my teacher, we were on a bus and she like stuck her head out the window and got these really cool, I don't know what kind of fruits they were, but they were really cool. Stuck her head out the window because there were, you know, people selling fruit outside, and she grabbed a couple and she just wiped them off and gave me some. So, you know,
Bad
basically
news.
they were, you know, yeah, rinsed in
Yeah.
local water.
Bad
Rinsed in
news.
local water.
Don't
Yeah,
drink the local
so
water.
Okay.
yeah.
Montezuma's
So I was
revenge. Yeah.
well, he had his revenge, plus, you know, like 103, 104-degree fever, and I'm coughing and sneezing and just like can't breathe. And so anyway, we take a flight down to Hainan. It's like 100 and something degrees, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I can do this, but I didn't fly halfway around the world to just kind of
Just to
like, you
quit.
know, just to
Yeah.
quit, lay on my back, and just go. That's it. I'm done. So
Exactly.
I wake up the morning of the competition, and Jen and Taylor, bless their hearts, are dosing me and massaging me, and you know, like I said, it's like 100 something degrees, and I'm wearing a silk uniform because it's a World Tai Chi competition. And I kept trying to justify to myself, you can do this, you can do this. It's not like you have to do sanda, which is the Chinese version of kickboxing. It's not like you're doing sanda, and it's not like you're doing fast wushu. You should be okay. But I'm lightheaded and I'm hot from the inside out. You know that kind of fever, you guys, where you can feel the inside of your eyelids
Yeah.
burning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That
Oh,
that
yes.
was the fever. That was the fever where you blink and you're like, oh my God, my eyeballs are frying. That's what they felt like. So I'm soaked through my silks,
Been
and
there.
my worried.
Been there.
She's like, you know, you shouldn't do this. You will, you know, you will be very, very ill and maybe hospital. I'm like, no, I'll do this. I
Yeah,
spent
I'm
how
here.
many thousands of dollars to come out here? I'm here.
How
And
many
so I sat in a
okay.
corner.
How long how long do you have to perform for, minutes wise? You're this sick, but you know you have to physically give it your all now, mentally set yourself up to do this.
This particular routine was 7.5 minutes.
Oh man, but it probably sounded like an eternity of being sick.
Mhm.
Wow. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
So I sat in a shaded corner, and the competition arena was all open air because, you know, they're in Hainan, they're in the tropics, right? So I sat in a shady corner for hours.
It seems like a Bruce Lee movie. Open air, kind of like Courtyard or something like that.
Kind of. Well, think of like a, you know, like a college football stadium, kind of like that, but not so much with all the bleachers and stuff. But it was like a big old fashioned Chinese residence almost, right? Where I mean there were doorways and stuff, but not necessarily, you know, doors. that kind of thing. And it was just all open air. There were no windows or anything. It was really nice. It was beautiful, beautiful venue. The whole island was all decked out for this world competition. It was their revenue thing. Island. There were like
it was a Super Bowl. It's like a Super Bowl thing, right?
A lot like it.
Yeah, because I mean, Hainan isn't very big, and so it was a big thing for them. Every shop had T-shirts for this world championship, and the news crews were out interviewing all the foreigners. And,
Can I stop you a second? Because then we'll get the cat. Russ is hysterical in the chat. He's saying something about vomit your friend.
Vomiting. Yeah.
What is
like,
he on?
Kung Fu?
Why is he so?
Kung Fu meet fever Kung Fu.
What is he saying though? Is he saying that you guys, when you're sick, like why is it your friend? Is it you don't want? I guess you don't want to have a stomach full of.
It's a joke because like the squatting tiger, vomiting dragon is kind of like a play on the.
Oh no, I get that joke.
Movie.
Earlier, let me see if I can find the earlier comment. He said he made it sound like you guys that are at that level when you're sick. Here, the vomit is a secret weapon. The vomit.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's what is your secret weapon?
Okay,
yeah.
I thought
it's from the old Kung Fu movies.
Yeah.
So anyway, I sat there for a while waiting for them to call my division, and I'm thinking, please have it today. I don't want to have to wait till tomorrow. I just, because if it's not today, I just want to go back to the hotel and sleep, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they finally call my division, and Jen gives me this like little vial of this nasty juice type thing, and I was just like, okay. And then they called us out, and for this competition, you have two people competing on the same floor, and the judges look at both competitors, right? Because there's like, my division had like 40 people in it, or something like that. It was a long wait, so they decided to do two at the same time to shorten the time because there's like 40 something people, and so they finally call my name and some other Chinese guy. I think it was a Chinese guy. So I look at Taylor and the rest of my team, and I went. So I just straightened up and walked out there like nothing was wrong.
There you go.
Walked out there like nothing was wrong. Did my routine, and yeah, and I didn't even see the scores. I just, I walked off the floor, saluted out,
passed out,
collapsed in the corner.
There you go.
Yeah, I collapsed in the corner.
And you couldn't even see it. Did you win?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny part. So
I figured, but I wanted to hear her say it. I
did win, but I found out later because my teacher inadvertently scheduled something that she had to come to back in the States. So we had to leave the day before the closing ceremonies.
What a bummer.
The day before the day before the closing ceremonies for this particular event, they, announced all the, grand champions for each division, and then the flags go up, you know what I mean? First, second, third, just like the Olympics.
Sure.
And then the grand champions, and then the champions come out, and they sit on the podium and stuff. Well, we had to leave before that, and so I didn't know how I did. But everyone's like saying your scores were spot on. I think you won. You think you won? Oh, they'll let you know. Rusty. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I just want to go home. At this point,
it sucks though. It sucks when you. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, and then about 4 days later, the captain of the U.S. team, U.S. Tai Chi team, called my teacher and said, "Didn't you hear? Restita won. I have a medal. Where do I? You guys missed out. Put up the American flag, and there's this empty spot on the podium, and everything. No. They played the national anthem, and
that's a damn bummer.
Yeah,
should have been up there on that podium.
The captain, I know. It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? I think to myself, I should have been on there, but I was sick and I just wanted to go home, and yeah.
That's exactly. That's perfect.
Got the medal.
Hey, Joan Phillips, how you doing? What are you doing up in the middle of the night in East Coast time? Folks, if you're just joining us, this is Real Talk with Big Daddy with my two friends, world champions, and you're hearing stories about fighting through, the ups and downs of champs and fighting with sports injuries. And God, that's so basically it's an adrenaline thing. That's 7 minutes when you hit the stage, and then you come off, you collapse. You don't even see your scores. You don't even have it. Like, you don't even know what the hell.
I don't remember what I did. I know I knew that somebody from the team, from the New York side of the team, had some footage, and I saw it once. And I don't know what happened to the footage, but I'm out there and I'm doing my thing and blah blah blah. And there's another guy behind me doing stuff. I don't remember any of it. None.
Yeah, but you're at some kind of adrenaline run. You had your friends with your Chinese drinks, which it could have been like some plant that was like cocaine or something. Come on, kids, you could do this. All right,
maybe
Kat.
So.
Kat, is it okay if I call you Kat?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I prefer it, actually.
The story I want you to tell the audience, and then we'll segue to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have been working on adrenaline for my back pain, and I'm starting to fade. But we don't have to leave right away. But I want to hear your story about your experience with Caesar's Palace, the broken ribs, and also the one where I think it was North Carolina. You said you flew in, you got sick. The story that got me while like revved up and just going, I think it was it an ankle that you willed to be healed within 24 hours? And you could tell this story or whatever parts of the stories because they're just awesome. But what I'm getting at is at that level, you finally get the chance at a title fight, or with like poor Restita has to fly around the globe. She lands in chilly weather, feeling like dog crap. Then she completely changed her climate to the tropics. She still feels like dog crap. And she still performs at the high level because it's almost like it's just conditioning at that point. It is conditioning. It's like, you're here. Let's do this. We need 7 friggin' minutes of just superbness. And then you fall off the stage and you pass out and wake up in America saying, hey, you're a champion. That's pretty crazy.
Hey, what's going on? It was a cool experience. Would I be that sick again? Would I do something like that again if I were that sick? No.
Yeah.
But
you were young and dumb. But
I was young
stories,
and dumb, and that just wet my whistle for more world championships. So.
But Kat Stories gets more into that empath thing and this whole spirituality thing. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if it was God. It was something. When I was reeling on the floor earlier today in this same studio by myself, crying like a little bitch, literally in agony. And the pain got so bad that I remember, Kat, what you told. I swear to you, Kat, I'm not kidding you. I'm on the floor thinking the shit you taught me. And I'm like, I just got to get fucking vertical. I got to get vertical. I have to get back to my bed. I got to look for these pills that I know I have, but I haven't taken in 6 months because I have a show to do tonight. And I am going to be there on that damn show with these 2 champions. Rip, shit, or bust. I am friggin' there. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I made it. But I'll tell you right now, I am in pain, and I have been in pain through this whole experience. But I rose above it. When I was in that pain on the floor, though, the pain was so great that I actually got past the. Kat, do you understand what I'm saying here? I was above the pain. I was above the pain. I was outside the pain. And
I completely understand.
And all I wanted to do was I was worried about this friggin' show. Because Bruno, who's a big fan of my show, he's from New Hampshire. He's Italian. He may or may not be the kind of guy that'll put a horse head in your bed. I don't know. Stupid show. But when he sees if I'm not on time,
I don't want to offend him.
No, but he wouldn't. He's a very respectful man. You guys would love Uncle Bruno. And hi, Nicole.
Until you disrespect him.
Well, yeah, it's just the horse in the bed's like that's your out. If you get a horse in your bed, you just go, hey, that's your time to tap out with Bruno. So
yeah.
But you were talking about 2 things that drove me crazy. One of your matches was at Caesar's Palace. Again, folks, this was a big deal back in the time. Kathy was a big star, right? I mean, people knew you in this. I mean, come on, you hung like when you walk in the room, they're announcing you as champion. And you're in a match and you got broken ribs, and tell them about I've heard the story, but your opponent, and you're working with busted ribs. for a championship title. Like, go home and take a nap, girlfriend. Your ribs are broken.
Well, I was getting ready for this world title fight in Caesar's Palace, like you said, Las Vegas, and
in what year, Kat?
This is 1990.
Okay, that's like the great Vegas, back when the Dunes is still there and stuff like that.
Yes, cool. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I know, because I was there. I love Vegas.
Joe Kaufenberg was the promoter, and he lived in Vegas and loved Vegas and was a big-time gambler in Vegas. And he just loved celebrities and fighters, loved them. So when he put together this event, I mean, he had a huge parade going down the main strip in Las Vegas with all the people from, the gladiators that are at Caesar's Palace, dressed like gladiators. And we actually were in a big car, a convertible car, and the parade is going down, and everyone's looking at us, and he's talking about us, and we're on the marquee in Vegas, which I had pictures of, and it was just the most amazing thing ever. And what I found out, I literally found out a couple of weeks ago that that famous artist whose name is escaping me,
Andy Warhol.
Lehman, I think.
No, Leroy Neiman.
Leroy Neiman. Actually,
I bought a piece of Leroy Neiman. Yeah.
Okay.
You.
So apparently, me?
Did he paint a painting of you?
He did, and I was on the wall of fame in the underground of Caesar's Palace, and I had no idea. I just found out a couple weeks ago.
Ladies and gentlemen,
no
okay, I got to talk to some of my audience members who may or may not know who Leroy Neiman is.
I just want to see it. I want to see it. I've never seen it.
Leroy Neiman in Vegas.
We need to go to Vegas.
We got to go find this painting.
There, I'll kill you.
Well, apparently it's back in the underground where only the employees are allowed to go. So I don't even know.
Rusty, listen, Kat. Rusty.
Yes.
I got this. I'm going to come to Vegas. We're going to get in that damn basement and we're going to steal that painting. We got to get that painting. That painting is ours.
Let's do it. And then we'll sell it. And we'll all be wealthy.
Kat, really quick. When you were back, before we get into the Caesar's Palace thing and stuff, because Russ Ebert saying, I remember that fight. It was friggin' huge. How, like, explain to the audience, like, you were like, what are some of the shows you were on? Like, this was a big deal in sports, and you were a beast. Like, I know you don't like to say stuff like that. Like, some of you were on talk shows.
Talk shows
right?
and stuff? Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Were you on Merv Griffin?
No. I was on...
Remember Merv?
Gosh.
Remember Merv?
Of course I remember Merv. Who doesn't know Merv? I mean, at our age, we're going to know Merv.
I'm like Merv Griffin on steroids, like on crack or something. I love that.
I was on the Montel Williams show and Carol Burnett show and a few other shows.
What do they do? What do they do with you on Carol Burnett? What was it?
Just talk about the kickboxing and the experiences I've had. And
she interviewed you. Wow. Carol Burnett is probably one of the biggest stars in our generation.
She's freaking awesome.
I bet. Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun.
So getting back to being injured, this is a belt. This is a belt that you didn't have, right? You got this match.
Right. It was a vacant title, and they called in a girl from Bonnie Canito from Florida, and asked me if I would be interested in fighting for this vacant title, and I said absolutely. So we're training. I'm literally training my ass off, and my instructor was a Marine, so he knew how to thrash people. He knew how to push you way beyond your comfort zone and make you do more than you think you possibly could. So I know that there was absolutely nobody in better condition than I was at that time. At that time. I walked around at a 5% body fat and 124 pounds.
Can I just say something about your body fat situation? That picture of you when you're all chiseled with the belts and stuff, you're prettier than Farrah Fawcett, for Christ's sake. All right, I'm done.
Oh,
All right, go ahead. Well, no, come on. You're not hard on the eyes for being a world champ. I mean, you didn't take too many punches to the face, did you?
yeah, I took a ton.
Oh, well, it's amazing you held up so well. You look beautiful.
I'm incredibly, thank you. I'm very
I don't
grateful.
think in Tai Chi, I don't think you take a lot of hits to the skull, do you, Rusty?
Well, if you do Sanda, you would.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do
It's kind
Sanda,
of
you
weird.
would.
A lot of people don't know that in Tai Chi there is the fighting aspect of it. They just think it's like a dance for old people.
I'll take
And
a few more of these.
Insane people, just saying. Just drives me insane when people think that.
What? What do they think?
Well, it's just
Tai
lack
Chi
of education.
for
It's
old
just
people.
ignorance, and they don't know any better, and it hasn't been described well enough in any time it is described.
That's my mission. That's my mission.
What's your mission?
Yes, ma'am. To educate the masses,
Yeah.
educate people in Tai Chi. That
Well,
it's
go
not
ahead.
just something that old people do when they're done with their careers. Come on. Or when they've slowed down and they can't do anything anymore. Oh, when I'm physically crippled, I'm just going to do Tai Chi.
I
Really?
hear that all
What
the
fuck?
time. When I can't fight anymore, I'll do Tai Chi, and it's too late at that point. It's too late at that point. But anyway, let's go back to
back to Caesar's Palace. You got you.
All right.
You were so what? You're practicing with the Marine. He's a pain in the ass ball buster. He'll crush you in practice. He's like, Kat, you're here. Yeah. You don't think you can get to here, but I'm going to get you up to here mentally. And now your ribs break. Great.
Well, no. Well, yes, but in my sparring, typically you start out. You
probably have a bunch of girls to spar with. You probably spar with a lot of women because you're a girl.
I never sparred with women. Ever.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird. I thought maybe a girl fighter would spar with girls. I'm joking.
No, I'm joking. I know. I sparred with men at that time because there were no women around that were good enough to spar with. So I sparred with men who were, in the beginning, when I was first starting out fighting, I was sparring with men who were already world champions. So I was getting the crap beat out of me constantly. Constantly. But, I learned a lot. Anyway, long story short, getting ready for this fight, you have a certain amount of time, and in that time you run and condition, and you do your bag work and you do your sparring, and you get the hardest part of the sparring maybe 2 or 3 weeks before you start tapering down, and you're supposed to get your body to a point where it peaks, and it's had the optimal amount of training and rest. That's the hard part. And getting the two to go to
why is it the hard part?
Because there's plenty of people who overtrain, who will train and not rest. Because for every hour of training, you should have an hour of maintenance, meaning massage or sit in a hot tub or stretch or sleep. Get plenty of sleep.
Wait a second. For every hour?
That's just the rule. It's not written in stone.
When you were at this high level, you would train intensely for an hour and then maybe sit in ice or something, or like every hour?
No, I'm not saying every hour, but we're just equating how much maintenance you need. It's like when you have a car, you need to change the oil and put the air in the tires and make sure that all the other fluids are topped off and do all the regular maintenance that a car needs. Well, the body needs it too, but there are plenty of fighters who will train and train and train, but they don't take hot baths. They don't get massages even once a month. They don't get any kind of other therapy that they need to make sure their body's going to function at an optimal place. So that was me. I never got it. I never had a massage. I never got to take hot baths.
That's so awesome. That's because of your moxie. You're a rebel.
No, I never got a chance to. I was, if I wasn't teaching, I was working. If I wasn't working, I was training. It was teach, work, train, and that's it. I had no other life. That was it.
Tell people when you were hardcore training what a typical day was. How many hours sleep? What happened when you woke up?
Okay. So I'd get up at 5 a.m. and I'd run 5 miles in 34 minutes with a weight vest on and a lung restrictor.
Oh my God! I used to run up maybe 2 miles when I was in the best health I ever was. I'd get up around the same time. I'd make one piece of toast or that like bran cracker shit, and I would be crying and cramping at a mile and a half. And you're just getting started. Go on. The weight, you're wearing a weight vest. You're running after you're done running the first run because you're going to run again later in the day, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. You going to
No,
the
I didn't.
weight?
I didn't.
Where are you going?
I would
where you
work
go for
out
running?
twice a day, but I wouldn't run twice a day.
Look at holy moly, right?
When I started fighting for world titles, there were 12 rounds at 2 minutes a round. So it was like what 24 minutes for your competition.
Yeah,
so then I started running 10 miles, and I was forced to run 10 miles in 1 hour. Plus, I'd hit the bag for 12 rounds, and I had to hit so many strikes per round, and they all had to be hard. Plus, I had to run wind sprints up and down the football field, run bleachers with a training partner on my back. I mean, it was just on and on and on. I had to do 1,000 push-ups a day, thousands of crunches a day.
No wonder you look so good.
Thousands of punches and kicks a day. It just never ended. On top of teaching classes and working. So I ate maybe once a day if I was lucky. Maybe.
So you slept probably about 8-9 hours. You got your good rest, right?
Nope.
No. You got how many hours before you started
Thursday,
running?
Friday, and Saturday night, I was bouncing in a bar, so I got 2 hours sleep, maybe 3 hours.
Oh my God! This is it. I got to stop this stupid show. You're kidding. 2 hours. I can't even. I wouldn't even be able to be able to pour milk on my cereal in the morning if I only had 2 hours sleep. And you're going to go and take.
And then I would be locked in the gym at night, and I had to jump rope for 45 minutes.
Wait! They locked you. They physically locked you in the gym. That's rude.
My instructor locked me into the gym, and I couldn't leave until I had done 45 minutes of jumping rope at the end of the night.
God, these guys are relentless. You should have been a Navy SEAL. Shout out to the Armed Services, by the way. If you're following the show, we appreciate it. We support our troops. We
do support our troops. But anyway, that was type of the training that I had to do. It was relentless. Plus all the sparring, tons and tons of sparring of getting the crap beat out of me, getting broken bones and fat lips and broken, you name it. I suffered it in sparring.
Good question from Russ Ebert. He says, I'm guessing power naps, maybe?
Micro sleeps.
Micro sleeps.
I take that back.
You wouldn't know if you were micro sleeping. You wouldn't know, Kat.
I was just going to say, I take that back, because there were times when, let's just say I was the passenger in a car for a 10-minute drive. I'd be out for those 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be gone. If we went to the movies, on a rare occasion we went to the movies on the weekend, I'm sleeping the whole fucking movie. I was asleep the whole time. I swear to God, there were times when I got to eat that once a day, when we were sitting in a restaurant, I would fall asleep eating my food. It sucked.
Wow. You know what you remind me of? And you're never going to guess who you remind me of.
Who?
Go ahead, try to guess. It's a big figure. Everybody's going to know this guy when I mention his name.
I have no idea.
I know you don't. Rusty, you have a guess? All right.
Nope.
All right. I thought you would play along with this silly game, but it's George Washington. He used to sleep 4 hours a night and get up and do battle. And that dude was a tough son of a bitch. But you only sleep 2 hours. You're tougher than George Washington.
We were young and dumb back then.
Young and dumb back then.
Yeah, when I was working, I only got about 3 hours before I had to go to work and do it all again. Work 3 jobs and teach. And,
but why do the scientists tell you that you should have 8 to some people? They even recommend 10 hours of sleep, and you guys are looking chiseled.
Yeah, but do you know what? I mean, there are times when later, after I was done with kickboxing, I would do experiments to see, how long I could function with just REM sleep, like 30 seconds of REM sleep, or a minute of REM sleep, or 3 minutes of REM sleep, REM, rapid eye movement. And if you can train your body to do that, then you can function for literally 23 3/4 hours in a day.
Might as well take meth. God.
Yeah, right. Hey, Russ, real quick in the chat.
Once you train your body to function on REM sleep only, because the REM sleep is when you get your most rest. Anyway, I would spend months experimenting with that, and then experimenting with not eating for months at a time, and not losing any weight, and not feeling hungry, and not being weak, and I was fine. But it became more of a mental thing, not a physical thing necessarily, although your body will listen to your mind.
Were you If you tell it to. Okay, now you're starting to get into that. We're going to do another show where we'll get into that level kind of stuff.
Later.
Poor Russ obviously doesn't get enough sleep. He was thinking that George Washington was in the Civil War. No, Russ, you need some micro sleeps. But I understand. But trust me, there was like Longfellow and all those guys in the Civil War. They were probably resting 3-4 hours. I understand that. But he said though that he was joking on himself, saying he needs a few more micro sleeps. He got the wrong war. Micro sleep. But the point I was trying to say, and I'm so sick of kissing your ass already, 5-time champ, is that you're tougher than George Washington. You're tougher than.
Do you still want to hear about the fight?
Get your ass.
Okay.
Grab.
As I was tapering, I don't know. As we were tapering down,
I don't know, but it was fun.
Getting closer to the fight time, I had 1 week left of hard sparring. So my instructor would bring in 4 or 5 guys, and they would just round robin because it was a 12-round fight. So they would spar with me 2 rounds each, and then I'd get a fresh opponent, and I'd spar with them for 2 rounds and get a fresh opponent and spar with them for 2 rounds. And I had to do that for 12 to 15 rounds because he just, this was toward the end where I was peaking, getting to the top of my conditioning. And the last guy he brought in was a short, very strong guy. He was about a 145-pounder, very muscular, and all he knew how to do was hit hard. He had no other gear other than hard. And I was sparring with him, holding my own. He was hitting hard. I was moving a lot. I was practicing a lot of, make him miss, make him pay. And it was working until he threw a jab and I stepped in to throw my jab, but at the same time, he did a leaping, spinning back kick into my rib right here. And when it hit here, the compression was so hard that it broke in the back. 2 ribs broke in the back of my ribs, not in the front. And at the time, I had so much adrenaline going, I didn't even notice. So we continued sparring, and then another person came, and I finished the night with that sparring. And I'm taking off my hand wraps, I'm taking off my gloves, and I'm packing up my gear, and all of a sudden, I can't breathe. And my ribs hurt bad.
You could have been in serious trouble there, though. You could have like punctured a lung or something.
Easily, I could have. I'm so grateful it didn't happen.
Right.
And I got to the point where I literally couldn't move without severe pain. And I went up to my instructor and I said, something's wrong. My ribs are really killing me. He goes, well, if your ribs hurt that bad, why don't you go to the drugstore and buy a rib brace? Because he didn't believe me. And I looked at him. I walked over to my purse, grabbed my keys, walked out the door. I drove to the drugstore and bought a rib brace. I put it on and I came back and he goes, oh my God, are you serious? And I said, yeah, I'm serious, as best I could speak. He goes, are they broken? Did you hurt them? And I'm like, yeah, I think they're broken. So we went to the doctor and they were broken clean in half.
Excuse me, Kat. Russ Ebert's.
What?
He's Russ. You need to be on my show as a comedian. He says Dr. Evil got rid of the Shark Tank and he put in a pit with Kathy Long in it. That's awesome. This is such a great show. Listen, Kat and Rusty, I told you girls should write books. I mean, you got more stories than Muhammad Ali had, footwork moves. These are incredibly cool stories. I hope I'm giving them justice. Like, I know we're being silly in between because that's what my show is, but
yeah,
damn it. Even your coaches are at such a high level. They don't even want to believe that you could break. He's like, he had to see it. He's like, wait,
he didn't want to believe it.
Yeah. But now you're at Caesar's Palace and you still have a chance. And you're like, you know what, honey?
Well, he says, what the hell are we going to do? The fight is like 10 days away, or not 10 days, but it was like 2 weeks away. He goes, your ribs only have 2 weeks to heal. What the heck are we going to do? And I said,
duct tape.
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing I can do. So I wore the rib brace And I didn't move much. I couldn't run. I couldn't hit the bag. I couldn't do anything. So we're talking 2 weeks of no training. And then
Wait,
I get
stop,
there.
stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please respect this, please. Well, you can't respect how I just broke in there, but how could you? But I have to know. If you weren't hurt, what would have been the training like for the week or two you're in Vegas before a title fight? Like, what would it have been? It's not as hardcore as it probably was, right? But you're keeping limber.
It would have tapered down, but I still would have hit the bag, and I still would have run and hit the mitts and kept my skill sharp. I wouldn't have done sparring. I probably would have done just light drills with a sparring partner, but I wouldn't actually spar hard. I would just work drills and timing.
So you weren't able to do any of this.
Nothing.
No, but you're not giving up the title shot. You're going to hit the ring.
Hell no. And we all agreed that no one was going to say anything to anybody. I mean, not one word to a single soul, because we didn't want it getting out. So we get there, and I'm wearing a rib brace and like 3 T-shirts, and it's 100 and whatever the hell degrees in Las Vegas in
it's a dry
July.
Heat.
It's in effing July. Yeah. So anyway, they have open workouts so that they can watch the fighter and decide how they want to bet on him and what the odds are going to be. So they see me, and I'm just, reaching out like this, barely touching anything and just barely moving because I can't breathe. It sucks. And by the time the fight was there, thankfully they already saw me as she was the underdog, which was good because they had, just by reputation alone, they just said, oh, well, we're going to put her in this category and she'll be the underdog, my opponent. But I remember sitting with, the day before was the weigh-in, and we're all sitting there getting the rules meeting and talking about, what's allowed, what's not allowed. And I was sitting there with her strength coach because we're all close to each other. And I'm not the kind of person that hates my opponent beforehand because I just think that's ridiculous. She's a human being with, loves and fears and thoughts and concerns just like everybody else. So I don't hate my opponent. I have no problem hitting him in the face, but I don't hate them.
Hey, look, Sugar.
They don't have to be an enemy,
Yeah. I love you, Sugar. I love you, Sugar, but this is going to hurt.
I just look at it this way. It truly is a sport. We both agree that this is what's going to be. This is what the sport entails. So we both agree upon that. And there is no animosity or hard feelings or bitterness or angry or jealousy or anything. It's just, this is the sport. This is the sport we're in, like rugby. They don't mind tackling each other that way. And in football, it's a contact sport. And it's just the nature of it. So anyway, I'm talking to her strength and conditioning coach, and he's telling me that, yeah, I've been working with her for the last 6 months and trying to get her, I've put her on steroids so I can improve her strength. And I'm looking at him like, you fucking what? I didn't say it, but I thought it. You have her on fucking steroids? And this is before their testing, before they do drug testing, before it got, out of hand and people are doing steroids all the time. And I just thought, holy fucking shit, I'm fighting a girl who's been on steroids for who knows how long at this point. And I have broken ribs. And it got worse.
Great.
Yeah, it got worse. So we get there into the fight, and, we're the main event. It's a 12-round fight. And the referee, from the moment I met him, hated my guts. I mean,
why? How could anybody hate you? What is going on here?
I have no idea. But for the very moment I laid eyes on him,
he had a bet on the other girl. He was wagering on the other girl.
I don't know, but he kept calling me and taking points away from me for holding and hitting, for doing illegal things. And the video showed I didn't do any of that, but he didn't care. He just wanted to take as many points away from me as he could. And the girl was a southpaw, and she was, lumbered forward. She was awkward style. So because she was an awkward style, the whole fight was awkward. The whole fight felt clumsy and weird to me. And I think one of my saving grace is that the person helping my instructor in the corner, he saw something that because she was a southpaw, which meant she had her right foot forward, she kept holding it down low instead of up high. And he says, "Hey, does Kat know how to do a spinning backhand?" And my instructor goes, "Yeah, she does." "Well, I think she'll land it every time she throws it." So
Jesus.
I was a spinning backhand fool. I kept hitting her over and over and over, and spinning back kicks. And
Can I ask you this dumb question? Can I get one dumb question allowed?
Yeah.
What was the hit you're doing here? Can you show? Is it possible, like, to stand up, or you don't have to actually do it, but can you just like do the motion slow?
Yeah. So the motion slow. Like I would fake with the jab. I'd throw the jab and then I'd turn and spin and hit. Boom. But I'd come all the way around and hit him in the head because her hand was down.
Some of them
and
hit hard.
Yeah,
oh,
they
no
did.
shit, really? I wouldn't think a girl that works out 23 hours out of 24 hours would hit hard. I mean, who would think that it would be hard?
Well, if you get hit with a spinning back, I've only gotten hit like once with a spinning back fist by some guy I was sparring, and he had no control over it. That shit'll ring your bell if you're not.
That shit'll fuck you up.
It'll ring your bell.
Here's the interesting thing about that fight. Hold on.
No, I mean, there's lots of interesting things in these fights.
Just about that particular fight, because we had been called literally 4 days before this fight, and we were asked to compete for another world title in Lake Tahoe, up in 9,000 feet elevation, 30 days later. Now, in the state of Nevada, you cannot have two title fights within 45 days of each other without the doctor's approval. So I'm fighting this first fight, and my ribs, I am having a hard time breathing. That was the only thing I really noticed. I didn't feel any pain, but I just couldn't breathe very well. So, but I'd had years of asthma when I was a kid, so I was used to not being able to breathe and functioning with it anyway. So thank God, because that was good training as a kid, not being able to breathe. Good training. So anyway.
It's not funny. Don't mock me. Don't mock me. I can't even breathe from laying on the floor today, and you're going to take punches at Caesar's Palace.
I didn't say anything.
Well, you kind of like, all right, whatever.
No, I was just saying thank God that I had asthma really bad, severe asthma as a kid, and I learned to function.
You actually said that out loud. Thank God for the asthma, Lord, because I'm in a ring in Caesar's Palace right now.
Training.
I'm grateful.
It's good training.
I'm so grateful that I went through that.
I love how you take every like cesspool level negative piece of shit thing that could happen to your body physically, or mental. Oh, you don't gotta. You got it, because on the floor I had to wheel myself up off the goddamn floor. I would have never made it to this show tonight.
And
boom.
Thank God that you were able to do that.
You know why?
How grateful I am that we're all here right now.
You crushed. Oh my God, This show is so great. This show is going to be, people are going to watch this show and go, you know what? Kat and Rusty should write a book together. And I'll even put the picture up that you could put on the front cover, because you guys look great together in this shot. I'm sorry. Go on. Tell more. Like the shot of you guys, you look like you're in a Hollywood movie. I'll have it up in a second. This one right here. I love this picture. I found it. As soon as I found this. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's totally awesome.
Hey, can I? All right. So
yes.
So she was lumbering at you. She's a southpaw. How many rounds? And
12.
Like 12
rounds. It went the whole distance. It went the whole 12 rounds.
Why not? And, what the hell?
I think the most what made it so special to me was not only was it my first world title, but my mother, who doesn't drive.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
She took a Greyhound bus all the way from Riverside, California to Las Vegas, got herself a hotel, and came to see my fight. And as a child, they never watched any of my sporting events. Nothing. And my mom got a ticket, came to see me, and was there for my first world title fight.
That's awesome.
It was the only time she ever came to anything. She never came to anything after that. And when I won that title, I was pretty sure she won it. I just felt like, oh, she's going to get this one, because the referee kept taking points away from me. And I just thought, all right, for whatever reason, he's got it against me, and he's taken away a bunch of points. There's no way I'm going to win this. And when they announced me the winner, I threw my hands up and I said yes. And I jumped up and down a few times, and then I looked right at my mom and I yelled as loud as I could, "I love you, Mom."
Oh, that's awesome. You have to make me cry. You always have to make me cry. That's really cool. See, this is why I love my show, because we're just having real conversations, folks. It's about as real as it can get, right? Rusty?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Damn real.
Yeah.
after the fight, we go to the dressing room, and I know the doctor has to come and clear me so that I can fight for my second world title fight, right? So
Right. Yeah,
I'm
you got
sitting
one.
in the dressing room, and the pain's all coming back. All the times that I've been hitting the freaking ribs is, I'm feeling it all, and I'm bruised, and my face is bruised up, and I'm a mess. And I'm just thinking, oh man, what am I going to do? The doctor's going to be here. I said, just keep an eye out for him, because let me know when he's coming. So they're peeking out the window and they're watching, because I'm in a little trailer, right, behind the Caesar's Palace, and they go, "Hey, he's coming, he's coming." So he gets to the door, he knocks on it, and as soon as he knocks, I sit up, and the doctor goes, "How you feeling?" I said, "I feel great." And I'm slapping my ribs, right? "I feel great, doc," just like that. And he goes, "Okay." I know, I feel great. And he goes, "Let me see your hands." He looks at my hands, he looks at my eyes, he checks everything, my eyes, my ears, my whatever. And he goes,
Your whatever? Wait a second. How thorough was this examination?
No, they check your eyes, the ears. They make sure that they check to make sure your eyes are clear, that there's no blurry vision,
Right.
that your blood pressure's good. They checked all the usual things. And
so it's interesting to hear
checked
this.
my breathing.
They
Yeah,
are
he
really
checked my
doing all this
breathing.
stuff.
Oh, they
That's
do
good.
it all.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me and he goes, "Okay, you're cleared to fight next month." And I said, "Thank you very much, Doc." And I'm just being perfectly normal. He walks out the door, and I'm like, just wanted to crawl. I wanted to crawl under a rock and die.
Aww.
Yeah, you have
I
a way
did.
of working off adrenaline or something. And
Oh yeah,
I did that one time in
my best friend.
Well, in professional photography, I would be booked 3 years in advance. And it's weird because I think I used to mentally, so weird how there's some parallels here. In just business, if you have to work 12, 14 hours a day, like literally when you leave in the morning, you're not done. You're going to be a dish rag at the end of the day. And twice I had the flu, and I'm like, I can't not be there for this bride. This bride booked me 3 years ago. She's counting on me. And mentally, I'm like, I'm there. And I mean, but yet if it was like if I was going to a concert or something and I had that same flu, I'd be like, screw that. I'll catch Kiss on the next tour,
Yeah. It's literally mind over matter. And some say if you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
But it don't matter.
Yeah.
But you know what?
If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Wait a second though. This is interesting. This is now where I said we would get deep tonight, and I knew, Kat, you'd pull me down this rabbit hole. You say it like it's such a piece of like you're so. I don't know what the right word is. Like it. I guess it is, because I'm telling you right now, I felt like I was being stabbed in the lower back earlier today, and I swear I thought of you. It's like, get up, asshole! You shake this off. Why am I hearing your thoughts in my head when?
Because we've been talking about that.
But I don't know why you think that. Like, I don't know if you could have been at Caesar's Palace in the writhing pain I was in and still competed. Like, if the doctor was coming when I was on the floor, I don't know how I would get up, bounce up, and go, "Oh no, doc, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, yo, it's all good." Right away. I'm good. I got this. Give me 45 days. I'll be back at it, buddy.
But at that time, I had spent years, I mean, literally years, from childhood. There were times from childhood being severely abused as a kid and learning to just compartmentalize the pain and put it over here and not deal with it.
All right. Now
Which helped. I'm just saying, it helped. I learned how to put the pain somewhere else and deal with what I need to deal with.
I'm staying silent because I want people to soak that in. And Rose, who's rocking the chat, just like our other friend, she says the mind does really control the body.
It does.
Believe
Right.
it. I believe
That's
it to
right.
a degree, but I don't know. I want to believe
I mean,
it.
Rusty can tell you when she was competing and injured her back so severely. Go ahead. Tell that story,
I
Rusty.
didn't tell that story. I didn't tell that
Tell
story.
that story,
did I?
Rusty. Oh, no, you haven't. You need to.
I'll tell that story. So, as I almost poke my mic. So, I did a demonstration. It was a big demonstration. It was a demonstration that was promoting the addition of wushu into the Olympics, right? The acrobatic kung fu, the Jet Li, Jackie Chan kind of stuff, that kind of
Love
stuff.
that stuff. Love that
And
stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
badass.
we did a demo
Get your ass.
as kind of like
Major respect.
it's kind of like not necessarily a fundraiser, but it was more like a show to just promote the addition of wushu in the Olympics. And I trained my ass off for that because it was I forgot what the venue was, but it was a big venue and it was sold out. And I'm getting myself hyped up backstage, going, okay, I've got 3 routines I have to do, and I just in my head I'm thinking, okay, if they for people to really want to promote and push this anywhere, all of our performances have to be spot on tonight. So I go out there and I do this routine called Nanchuan, which is ironically another one of my national championship forms. And one of the moves is you take a short run and you jump off of one foot and you hop up in the air and you go horizontal and you turn. So you jump up, you go boop, and you go horizontal and you barrel roll. So so basically, it looks like I'm up in the air with my feet together,
And you're twisting.
I look over and
You're literally
I'm
twisting.
Yeah. In the air. So I twist, and you're supposed to on the second or on the rotation, you're supposed to kick because the idea is you're dropping your foot.
Will you stop, please? I can't even. I wouldn't be able to do that with a good back, and you're making me try to do it. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and check out both of these ladies' pages because you will see Restita fly like a bird. I've seen her in the air so high, and she's trying to make it seem like it's the perspective of the camera but yet I know photography. I know everything about perspective, force perspective.
If you want to see my fights, look on YouTube. Not my page.
We will. Oh, by the way, ladies, we will finish the article and it will rock, and I will have all the links to everything. If you got a book to sell or anything. But anyway, I swear to God, let me just say this about Restita.
Working on it. I'm working on it.
There are pictures of Rusty where she is soaring through the air, very much like Bruce Lee.
Lotus kick. We looked like that one. And then there's actually footage of when I injured my back. There's the actual footage of when I hit the ground.
Yeah.
Boom. And then I paused for just 1 second, and I got back on my back and did a kip up. Now, a kip up, and a lot of people out there know what it is. A kip up is normally done on your hands, right? You lean back and you go whoop, and you kick your legs up, and you land on your feet.
Yeah, I used to do that one all the time.
That's why your back's the way it is. You got to take it easy.
I know. I screwed up.
But in this routine, there is no hands. This routine, the compulsory version of this routine is that you do it basically no hands off of your neck. It's all neck and abs at that point. So I pop myself up and I slap the ground and I go, oh shit.
Oh no.
Something's wrong, right? Because everything felt weird. My whole body said, something's wrong. And I went through the whole routine, but and then when I went backstage, I leaned up against the wall and I'm like, what's going on? That was weird. And basically what had happened, I'll just tell everyone what had happened. When I landed so hard on a non-yielding floor that my spine went boink. Just went boink, just kind of subluxated and bounced back, right? So basically what it's doing,
yeah, she effed up her back really bad. I mean,
Oh.
bad.
Exactly how I looked. Yeah. So, yeah, my neurologist later on explained it to me this way. Here's your spinal cord in your vertebrae. And you went, boink, like that. And you did that and bruised it.
Yeah.
Right? Like really. And anyway.
Probably felt like she broke it.
I had a fall.
It felt weird.
That's how I hurt my spine. I fell from a second-story scaffolding / ladder.
Damn.
It was a damp day.
Felt like it.
Oh, brutal. So when you said non-yielding
it's awful.
floor, you're basically saying concrete.
Yeah, pretty much.
Non-yielding. Yeah.
Non-yielding floor. And
It's concrete.
I had 2 more routines that day. And in the footage, the sword routine.
Hold on. Russ is saying, is anyone else thinking ouch over and over?
And over and over and over.
Russ,
Yeah.
will you write material for my show, please? I might want to put you in the This is why I love my show, because I could just, if I don't have anything, I just look down and somebody's saving my ass. That was funny. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her chiropractor showed her a picture of a pretzel. It turned out to be her spine. Russ, you missed your calling, buddy. It's not even, but spinal injuries and stuff are not funny. And
no, they're not.
They are with Russ. They are with Russ. Actually, you don't want to know something weird?
It's funny
My back
now.
is cracking. My back is cracking right now because of laughter from Russ. Thank you, Russ. Damn.
Love you, Russ.
That's a good sign when you're back after a spasm. Once your muscles start to loosen from the spasm. So that's a good sign. I think tomorrow will be a better day for me. Usually when I have these bad bouts, which I've never had before, like today was just, it's so ridiculous that on the day that I have you two rock stars on, we had planned on talking about sports injuries, that I spent 2 hours on the floor now looking, and I'll be looking on Amazon for one of those buttons, those I've fallen and I can't get up buttons.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
But when you went back, when you went backstage and you leaned up against, like, what did that do to your career at that point? Like, how bad? That was a bad injury.
I thought, well, I didn't quite know what was going on because at the same time, I was also training for the Wushu World Championships that were to be held in Malaysia the next year.
Excuse me, you two. Excuse me. Why can't you two just focus on one thing at a time? Why do you have to have two championship shits all the time? Oh no, I'm just not training for. I'm not training just for one bout. No, I got ones coming in a couple weeks. There's something wrong with your heads, both of you.
You know, I re-broke my ribs before the second fight. Within that 30 days, I re-broke my ribs.
I didn't want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, watching the show. Before the show, the back injury is 100% authentic. The pain I spoke of is, I use the word reeling in pain. Yes. Reeling's not even, somebody look at the thesaurus and find something 10 times worse than reeling. My daughter will come on live and tell people, her face was like, Dad, what is going on with you? Like, what's wrong with you? And I was screaming in agony. But yet I don't have to get in the friggin' ring or do a routine or nothing. I'm just on the floor going, well, I guess I'll be living on the floor today. Aww. This is where my new home is. But no,
that's
but
not
I mean,
good.
But there is something about the training that you've taught me, Kat. And I mean, I remember being on that floor and just, my biggest fear at first was I'm alone. It was the first time ever I was hurt where I was like, I didn't have somebody I could yell to.
Okay.
But then I just says, well, like but you're here. This is I remember saying things like to myself, like, hey, this is my reality. This is where I'm at right now, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be anywhere near here. This is bullshit. I got shit to do today. I got pictures to upload and a great show to produce. And how about when I had that ship sinking when Rusty, that was funny.
That was.
You guys laughed out loud. Thank you for that.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
But
came at the right time.
God, you two. Every time I have a show with you two, I know it's gonna rock. This show is fantastic. If the audience doesn't love this and share this show, there's nothing Big Daddy could do for you. I can't help you. These two warriors here.
Share,
these
folks.
Two.
Share.
And get them. And the
sharing is caring.
Let me tell you another thing you two do. You guys are always doing public outreaches. You're always doing good. That's what I like about you two. I always say to people on my show, look, I'm a ball buster. My act is snarky, sarcastic. My sarcasm is brutal, but it's only an act. And I'm just trying to make people laugh. They think it's me. It's an act.
Right.
But you guys are doing the outreach thing, and you're like, when you're with those elderly people in the nursing home, I just go like, she don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, she does.
That. No, she
I
doesn't,
love
but she
doing it.
does. I understand. You could tell you love it when I watch in the videos. I'm trying to say, though, that if everybody would do a little bit more and do good like you two, the world would be a better place. That's all. All right. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, but you know what? It starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with Rusty, and then it continues. It's like a ripple effect. Because as you help others, you two are being helped, and they will help someone else. And in turn, that person will help someone else, and it just keeps going on. It does work that way. It really does.
Yep.
What is Russ saying here? What is Russ saying here? Is this the pigeon immune system thing? What does that mean?
What? Pigeons never get sick? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Is he being funny again?
I have no idea.
See, Russ, I get the same thing. People don't know when we're serious or not serious.
Kind of, Russ, because like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, you sprain or break your ankle once, you know, all the other times you just kind of go, broke it again. Like I did, like I sprained my ankle again, like just a couple months ago. Just moved into this new house and come out the front door, and I went to go lock my door, and the porch doesn't have like railings on it. The porch is like, I don't know how many feet off the ground. And I backed up too far to shut the door, and I fell, and I landed on the side of my foot, thunk, and and I hit, boop, and immediately just boop fell over on the lawn with my backpack, and I was carrying something else too, and I laid there for just a second and went shit, and you know. There's a couple of people from across the street. I hear them walk into their car, and I didn't want them thinking that I died on my front lawn. So I just sat up and started walking and pretended it didn't hurt. But meanwhile, I'm sweating, and it's like, you know, 30-something degrees. You know,
You're in severe pain. Yeah.
Sweating. So you were acting... And I called Kat, and I said, God damn it. I think I just broke my ankle.
Just over a stupid move, just over a clumsy step or something.
Yeah, but the top of the landing, and she knows what I'm talking about. It goes right into a flower bed. And it's like, I don't know, how many feet would you think that is? About 3 feet?
3? Yeah, at least 3.5 feet. That's about right.
3.5 feet. And I stepped off, and my foot went whoop, and it went sideways, and it went 3.5 feet with, like, you know, my body weight, crash. And as I fell, I went, no, and I was on the ground, and I got in the car, and I was.
I love how you said when you were on the ground, like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why don't you fall like that?
Uh-oh, Big Daddy, you sound underwater again.
Underwater.
I'll hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
You're underwater still.
Rusty, take over the show, Rusty. You're now running the show.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So, Rusty's middle name is Whoops Rose.
That's funny.
Rusty's middle name is Whoops. You know, so I'll just go ahead and tell the rest of the story while you guys are there. So yeah, I fell off, and I get in the car, and I'm driving my Pathfinder instead of the other car that I have now. And I'm thinking to myself, how the hell am I gonna, you know, shift and do all this kind of stuff? And I'm still sweating, and Kat's going, oh my God, what are you doing? What's going on? But that was interesting. But anyway, back to what I was talking about with, she was worried that people thought she died on the lawn. Yeah, I didn't want people running over and going, are you okay? Are you okay? So I just got up and walked, and good morning. How you doing? And get in the car, shut the door, and I was just like, you know, that kind of pain. You know, that same kind of like pain where you wake up in the middle of the night, you go into the kitchen and slam your toe into the refrigerator or something like that, times 5. You
Yep,
know,
that kind of pain. I've felt it. Yep, I've been there.
times 5 or 6. And I was just sitting there gritting my teeth and just going, "Arr! Arr!" And texting Kat, oh my God, I think I broke myself. It turns out that it was just a bad sprain, and the bruise went all the way from my ankle all the way up to my calf. And I'm thinking, the hell did I tear this time?
Was that
And I'm
recently,
Yeah.
going to
Rusty?
the doctor.
Was that recently?
Yeah, yeah, when I fell off the porch. Yeah.
I mean, your friends are saying
So-
you're clumsy or what? Is that what Rusty said?
Oh, Rose wrote, Rusty's middle name is Whoops.
Yeah.
So anyway, since you're back, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the rest of the story of how I like fucked up my back. I had 2 more routines that I had to do, and in the footage, in the video footage, you can see that I have to end the routines early. The routines are like twice as long as they are, but there were times I had to end them early because there were times I couldn't hold the sword because I couldn't feel my hands, right? And I'm freaking on the inside, right? And I couldn't hold the sword. And then I went back and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to shake it off. This is not happening. This is not happening. I can't quit now. I can't feel my feet. You know,
Oh my God.
everything feels kind of
Oh my God.
weird. I'm feeling a little
boy.
lightheaded. And I'm like, I
Oh,
got
shit.
one more routine. So I got a staff and I'm, spinning it around and rah, rah, screaming, and I can't hold on to it anymore. I'm just going to get back to where I started, bow out. That's it. Run out, and I sit down, for the rest of the thing. I think I only came back out again. I was supposed to do another group sword thing. I couldn't do it. I came out to bow, and I went straight home. And I figured I'll just see my chiropractor the next morning. So I saw my chiropractor, and then that night I was watching TV, and then a friend came to the door. I went to go stand up to answer the door, and I answered the door and let her in. And I realized, oh, I must have sat wrong. My feet are, pins and needles. So I stood for a while, and we were talking and having a drink, and I realized that the pins and needles aren't going away. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Wake up the next morning, pins and needles are still there, but this time it's in my hands and it's in my scalp. And I'm like,
boy.
what the hell's going on? And for the next 3 days, it got progressively worse to where the pins and needles pain, it was painful, absolutely painful. So, I completely, respect and just give a shout out to people out there that have to deal with diabetic neuropathy, because
Can I tell you
they say
something?
It's pain.
Listen.
Holy crap.
Listen to me. Hashtag listen. Hashtag listen. I that's why I changed my whole lifestyle. I don't even look at, like I used to, when you used to go on, well, not you, Kat, you were like 5% body fat, but when people watching the show, when they would start diets, you'd be like, I'm going to start a diet Monday. And then by Monday night, you're eating a donut. Right. Yeah, I've
seen it.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Cause when I got that pain she's talking about, that foot pain from the diabetes, guess what, girlfriends? I think at that point, that's a junction point in your life. You either do what I did, which is like, I ain't going that fucking way. Thank you very much. I'm going the other way. And, or you become one of these people, God bless them, who just take all the pharmaceuticals and cover their pain with drugs. And then, of course, we could do a whole other show on the people that do that. But yeah, I have a lot of fans that watch this show, a lot of fans that are in like literally, God, you guys always have a way to have me explain it to the new watchers of the show. We have a lot of people that are watching that are hurt or been hurt or have a history of being hurt, or like Kat was saying about abuses from a child. And they'll say, this is why I like your shows, Big Daddy, because it's like escapism. It's like so I know they're watching you guys and they're hearing these stories about what you survived. And maybe it's encouraging. It'll be encouraging to a few people like you guys were to me, because really it came right along at the right time, Kat, right when I was like, no more diabetes pain. Ain't happening. Now, if we could just work out this lower back bullshit, we can move on with life, you know? But
Yeah.
it's brutal. And what you're saying is you're in an event and you're pins and needles. Now you're home. It's 5 days later. It's 20 times worse. So it sounds like your spine, was just completely wrecked, inflamed, and all them nerve endings were just short circuiting. I was going to ask you guys, either one of you, when you're in competition. Now, it didn't sound like Rusty gets hit a lot, but you did, Kat. Did you ever get hit where you, like, I've already hit?
Not for titles. Not for titles.
Okay, right.
You're supposed to get hit, but not for titles.
But when you get hit and you literally feel like those cartoons where your head's like a bell, your whole body. Yeah. That's what it sounds like you were experiencing. Like your whole body was like reverberating, like going, no, you can't do your routine right now. We got a little thing to deal with.
Well, the only reason why it freaked me out was because I'd never felt anything like that before. I've taken falls before, like hard ones, but not like that. What's going on? And I thought to myself, the biggest thing I was worried about was, is this going to affect my standing to go compete for a spot on the U.S. team? I really wanted to be on the U.S. team. The World Championships in Malaysia, that was going to be my last hurrah, and I was going to retire from competition. And I was really worried, is this going to affect it? And it did. I couldn't train for it. And, the team trials came and went. The World Championships came and went. And, so much for my last hurrah, right? I was kind of pissed about that. But, I figured, well, it's time to take care of me. I mean, the pain for months was, I had to lay on my back with my feet up and teach class that way. I had to go see a neurologist, and they couldn't figure out really what was going on. They took all sorts of tests. They tested for STDs and tumors. They took a spinal tap. Yuck.
They took tests of STDs.
Yeah. Because I guess maybe some STD can
wreck your whole system.
Yeah. Have you ever read the Tuskegee Project?
Yeah. Negative.
You should read it.
Rose. Oh, you know what? We're gonna listen. I'm just not gonna let you two talk great stories. We'll have you back. I'm gonna start to segue. We're gonna land the plane, girls. Rose is saying, FYI, folks, tomorrow is Global Love Day, so spread the love. Hey, on the Big Daddy Roadshow, we try to spread love every day, but it's almost near impossible with some of the people out there in the world. We try, though. But Rose, that's sweet. And Rose, by the way, prayers and hugs to you. She says, I have that pain from herniated discs. It's no fun at all. Rose, you completely understand back pain. You completely understand lower back pain. And or any
God
pain.
Bless you, Rose.
God bless everybody watching the show tonight. But yeah, I would like to have just because, and Rusty, you've been on my show more times than anybody. I don't think only one guy, Grower X, has been on my show more times than you. But and I'm always grateful and when you come on. But I think me and Kat are going to have to get together on a show with this whole spiritual level stuff and this healing yourself and mind over matter, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not just saying it. I had an experience on that damn floor today. It was messed up. And I have to actually think about it, because I'll tell you another thing, and it's going to seem really weird. For 2 hours, you know what I'm bitching about? Just like you going, hey, Rusty, you're like, I got to get back out there and do these other 2 routines. I can't deal with this back injury bullshit. I was like so conditioned for all the work I had to do for this show today. On the floor, in the agony and pain, I'm actually thinking of shit while I'm on the floor, but I can still think of stuff. I can still think of questions to ask. I can still think of, I'm actually having all this at multiple levels. I'm doing different things. And I actually think I wrote a poem. I swear to God, I did. This is the weirdest thing. But now I have to remember every damn word, because it was a really good poem. Apparently, when you're at that level of pain, your brain is really, really alive. But girls, I appreciate you sharing the stories with my audience, and I appreciate the new people that came along with you. And that's what happens when I That's why when you see BDRS people on Dynamic Dojo, I'm all thrilled. I'm like, great, let's all share the show for each other. And I am constantly going on other shows. And every time, even when I go on other shows, I mention your show, Rusty, because I love your show. And yeah, and now you're welcome. And you're very good at what you do. And so is Bob. I like how Bob does his news and stuff. But Kat, did we get to the whole Caesar's? Did we get it? I feel like did we get everything that we were going to talk about?
Of course.
I mean,
no problem.
Okay.
Of course we did.
No sweat, right? I don't know if that's true, but I'm seriously running out of jet fuel with this back. I'm going to have to go get horizontal, but I think it's going to be better. And oh wait, calm down. I got to end the show. I want to thank. Oh my God. I want to thank all the new followers, and I want to thank the few people on the East
new followers.
who rock the show too, because that chat on the screen makes my show. But also the East Coasters that stayed up until 1 a.m. for the show to start. A lot of my regulars were coming in and saying hi, but they probably went back to bed. But anybody catching this show, any of my live shows, just go the next morning and hit the videos link. And we have tons of shows at Rusty on, and Kat was on one or two. But let's see, subbing to the BD. What is he saying here, Russ? Subbing to the BDRD.
He's subbing to your podcast. He's liking your page.
Oh, thanks, Russ.
And a page, Russ. So, but
yeah, it's very confusing, Russ. But one day, Restita and I are going to be very wealthy, and we're probably going to pay people to handle all this shit. And don't sweat it. We just give us some time. I'm going out around the country.
Brother.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say thank you to my guests, these two warriors, these two champions. And I'm going to, as always, you have any time you want to come on the Big Daddy Roadshow and talk. Thank you, Restita, very much. And did that go up on the screen? I don't think my software's working. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yes.
And Kathy Long, you both of you made my birthday special. Thank you.
Yay.
So
you're welcome. Thank you.
I was so, oh my God, there's Tammy on the East Coast waking up, and she says, oh my God, you're still going.
Whoa.
Yes.
It's like almost 4 o'clock over there.
Tammy, I'm still going thanks to ibuprofen and heart. I think I had heart today, like you two. Thanks, ladies. I appreciate it very much. Is there anything else you want to say? Do you want to pump your website, Rusty, or Kat? Do you have anything you're selling, or?
Not right
Kat,
now, but Dynamic Dojo Talk Radio. Get on it every Sunday.
What time?
From was it? Forget the evening time. 6 to 8. 6 to 8.
Well,
yes.
6 to 8. And then
every
third Sunday. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say every third Sunday. Go ahead. Every third Sunday, it's 11 to 1.
Well, thank you. And Kat, really quick, I know you're going heavier into the seminars around the country. So if anybody is looking to have just either one of these two girls at one of your seminars, they fly anywhere.
Or both.
As long as you, that's right. Get a package deal.
Or both.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll definitely do a package deal.
Because I'm telling you, I have learned, and there's no reason even these two should be so nice to me. Seriously, I have learned, I'm not even in the martial arts world. But what you girls have taught me up here, I'm not kidding you. It's profound stuff. So these two know what they're doing. They're very good teachers. Like I'm talking, you won't be sorry. If you take one of their tips, at one of their seminars, it's probably worth the price of admission. I'm just going to guess that. So thanks for coming on, girls. Please come again soon. Rusty, I'll come on your show to help you anytime. I'm going to be out around the country. Well, if we get through this back bullshit, and I have a big event coming up this week. And I'll just say goodbye, and then I'll start to promote some of that stuff. But thanks, girls. Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
My 51st birthday was just way better than my 50th. Thank you.
Yay. Yay.
All right, guys. Say goodbye to your fans. Say goodbye to your fans.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, cool.
Take
Goodbye.
Care. Big Daddy.
There. All right. Of course, she's She's pimping my page, Kat, and I turned her off first. You're over there silent. You can pimp my page. Go ahead. Hey, Kat, here's a quick thing. Quick, Kat, real quick. Pretend you're doing a commercial for the Big Daddy Roadshow. Talk to the audience. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the Big Daddy Roadshow. We've had an excellent 2.5, 3 hours of this show, and with tons of great information, nice humor. You got to come on this show, gang. This is really, really, really awesome.
I love you, Kat. Thank you very much.
Love you too.
Until next time.
Until next time.
It's always fun with you. Okay, I'm going to drop you. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. The girl hung out with Muhammad Ali, for crying out loud. Get out of here, Kat. Time to leave. Go to bed. It's getting late in the West Coast. I'm over here on the East Coast, and I'm actually starting to perspire like their stories when they had the flu going into a match. My adrenaline's running out here. But yeah, wait, Rusty's saying, yeah, there's footage of Kat kicking my guys into the walls. Wait a second, what? We'll talk about that on the next show. Hey, Tammy, thanks for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. All right, let me do some quick plugs because I'm not kidding you. I'm going out on the road. We are getting on the road. We're going to promote the Big Daddy Road Show, and I'm going to promote all my friends' shows. And next stop is Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, where my friends from the 70s flashback band are performing here at the Sherman Theater, which is one of those old, cool, antique theaters, like the real McCoy. Look at the size of that room. And this band's going to rock it. And we're going to be there, hopefully with Jess Joan and Tara and anybody else that's got nothing to do this Saturday night, 8 o'clock. We're going to get there early. We're going to have a couple drinks. But let's see. I'd love to see you flip into a match. I'd like to see you what? All right. I'm getting too tired for this stuff. But anyway, this weekend at the Sherman, check this graphic out my artist made, Elza. She's so cool. Where is it? Let me get it. I want to get this graphic up. And also, I'm going to have some really cool, a couple more pictures that I had uploaded to the show. If you're bored, you can watch the pictures of Rusty and stuff. I even have pictures of the champ Kat when she was really young and she had short hair. It's kind of cool. Where's the damn picture? Let me find it. Here it is. Here's the picture that they did for the artwork for the show. What we're doing is we're going around and we're making deals with different venues to just come with our crew and just hang out and have fun. And if we can do some live events, we're probably going to go live from the Sherman. What I'd like to do is crown Princess Darkstar. If anybody watches the show, they know what's going on with her, and she's due her crown. I thought it would be fabulous if she was up at the Sherman, if we could crown her on stage in front of a live audience. But anyway, we have a lot of friends in this local music scene, and they invited Big Daddy up to have some fun. I'll be decked out in 70s regalia. Wait to see my outfit. I can't wait. It's going to be so much damn fun. It's almost like getting the second Halloween. And what else? After that, we're working a deal with the local racetrack. If you haven't gotten a chance to go watch the videos, please do go to the group page and watch me and Alexa drying the track and up in the track's tower. And we're going to go down there for a big Daddy Roadshow racing day with our race car driver, Keith St. Clair, hashtag 32 Speed Racer. And he's kind of having a bad run right now. His car's off the track, and we're trying to raise some money for him to get it back on there. And if we get it fixed, so if you guys can make some donations to this young lad, we're going to put graphics all over it, and we're going down there to a party. And I'm certainly donating some money because the kid, it was so depressing to go down there and see him sitting on the bleachers. And here's the guy that promotes my show for nothing just because he's a fan. We got to help Keith St. Clair. We have to. So if anybody's into racing and wants to throw the kid a bone, let's get his car back on the track. It can't cost that much. A couple bucks here and there. Maybe we'll set up a PayPal or something for him or a crowdsource. And let's see. So then from there, we're going to go see Uncle Bruno, maybe some baseball games live from different cities. And my goal is to do 4 to 6 major events. Briggs Blues Festival will be one of them. A couple of rock concerts. Yeah, we're going to rock the East Coast. Somehow, God willing, we'll get out there and we're going to make it happen. My birthday wishes. Thank you. Look at this artwork from Elza. I'm probably going to leave the show with this graphic. This lady knows I love skulls. Don't ask me why I like skulls. I have no idea, but I dig them. And she's a great artist. Thank you, Elsa, for that gift. That was really cool. Let's see some graphics that I didn't show, and then that's it. If you're not doing anything this Saturday, let's rock the Sherman Theater. And as soon as we have the dates for the racing day, we'll get that to you on the website, BigDaddyRoadshow.com. Okay, as you can see, I'm fading fast. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, we have a lot of people signed up now. Like we're starting to book people, and we're booking like major artists, just like these two girls. Very grateful for that, by the way. I've worked on this for 2 years, and it's starting to come together. Everybody helping me, thank you. Okay, so let me get rid of these graphics. And I'm just going to throw up some pictures. I don't want to not show some of the pictures that I just couldn't get to. Like here is Kat lifting one of the belts from one of her stories. And here's a picture of Kat and Restita. Okay, where's the one with the belt? There's the one with the belt. Come on, I know I have it. Bear with me, guys. It's worth seeing. Boom, 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 boom. Put on a happy face. Spread sunshine all over. Oh, here's a picture of my daughter. She's a little younger in this one, but I love this kid. And I put her through hell today with me screaming in agony. Sorry, babe. Sorry, 5K. Thanks for helping Dad. Really appreciate that. Where is the damn picture of Kat? This is going to drive me crazy. I know I've seen it. Where are you? Where are you? Come on. Boom. Here it is. Okay, this is really cool. Check this one out. She was saying she was like 5% body fat. It's crazy. I'll lose one picture here. Let's lose this one. And bring up this one. This one I meant to get up many times, but the words just weren't kind of matching what we were talking about. Okay, that's pretty much all the pictures from the kickboxing and the karate and the Tai Chi. Okay, Tammy, heading to work. See ya. If you have a wonderful day, Tammy. If you didn't watch this show, I'm telling you, go back and watch it. These girls had some great stories, and I'm not just saying it was a good show. Oh, I knew it was going to be too. All right, what else do I want to do? I want to tell you guys this too. This is the God's honest truth. We have fans, a lot of them, and we have them coast to coast. And 2 years ago, I think I had like 18 people. So I guess if you keep plugging away and just keep forging forward, things start to happen. God, I'm about to pass out here on you. But there's a couple more things I want to show you. Okay, this was a good one too. This came, I think, from Rusty's page. This is kind of interesting. It says to subdue an enemy without fighting is the greatest of skills. That's why I love my show, seeing cool shit like that. That's why I love doing it, meeting cool people. Like these two at the bar the other night. I know the guy on the left for years, but I met that young lady. She was having a hell of a good time. All right, the back pain's coming hard. All right, I got to just end this. I'm sorry we didn't get to see all the images, but hey, we did really good. This is the Big Daddy Roadshow. This is Real Talk with Big Daddy. Again, I'll leave the graphic up for if you want to be a guest on a future show. It's very simple. You send an email, and somebody will read it, one of my girls or myself, and we'll get back to you. We'll have a little practice run on Instant Messenger or something. And if you're up for it, you can come live on Friday Night Free for All or any of the other shows like Real Talk. Thanks, Russ. That's exactly what I'm about to go pass out, just like the girls after a big fight. Because I swear to God, I don't know if you can see that. It's all wet. I'm like sweating here. But I did it. We did it. And I can't thank these girls enough. They blow my mind every time they come on and rock a show. Okay, guys, I'm out. I'm just going to rock some graphics, and please share the show. Peace. Go out there and do some good. Okay? You hear me? Do some good.